It starts with a whisper, a seed in the mind, a doubt that grows louder, stealing your time. You're not enough, it says you'll never succeed, but I've learned how to silence that voice with my creed. I've fallen in prison, I've lost and I've gained. Every bruise on my soul is the proof that I've trained. This is me versus me, no one else in the ring, and I'm ready to fight till I hear the bell ding. I'm not perfect, but I'm perfectly flawed. Every step that I've taken was worth every scar. I'm done with the fear, the lies in my ear, the shadows that kept me bound year after year. Now I see the light breaking through the rain, turning every doubt into strength, breaking chains. Breaking chains, I'm rising up strong, turning all my doubts into fuel for this song. They can't hold me back, I've claimed my name. The voice in my head will never be the same. Breaking chains, I'm free to believe in the power within, in what I can achieve. This is my fight, my story, my reign. I'm breaking chains, I'm breaking chains. You've gotta lose to learn, stumble to climb, a doubt that grows louder, stealing your time. You're not enough, it says you'll never succeed, but I've learned how to silence that voice with my creed. I've fallen and risen, I've lost and I've gained. Every bruise on my soul is the proof that I've trained. This is me versus me, no one else in the ring, and I'm ready to fight till I hear the bell ding. I'm not perfect, but I'm perfectly flawed. Every step that I've taken was worth every scar. I'm done with the fear, the lies in my ear, the shadows that kept me bound year after year. Now I see the light breaking through the rain, turning every doubt into strength, breaking chains. I gotta lose to learn, stumble to climb, face the darkest moments to find the shine. I've doubted myself, let the fear dictate, but now I see doubt is just love and debate. The voice isn't my enemy, it's my chance to prove I can grow, to rise and advance. I've seen the bottom, now I'm reaching the top, and the climb doesn't end till my heartbeat stops. So bring the doubts, bring the storms and the pain, I'll turn it all into strength unchained. Breaking chains, I'm rising up strong, turning all my doubts into fuel for this song. They can't hold me back, I've claimed my name. The voice in my head will never be the same. Breaking chains, I'm free to believe in the power within, in what I can achieve. This is my fight, my story, my reign. I'm breaking chains, I'm breaking chains. You've gotta lose to learn, starts within.
Whether locked away in cage or mind, together we face this incessant bind, challenging a past we can't erase, replacing it with hope for a better place. Another day, another dawn, another damn thing to get done. Far from home, we still toil away, looking back somewhere we cannot stay, breaking the chains we cannot see. We'll either be damned or we'll be free. Oh, grab the past sharply by the throat. Our sins be damned, will bring hope, forged in the fire of a wicked end. From the ashes we find a friend, brothers in arms made along the way. Birds of a feather will fly away. Another day, another dawn, another damn thing to get done. Far from home, we still toil away, looking back somewhere we cannot stay, breaking the chains we cannot see. We'll either be damned or we'll be free. Oh, oh, oh. What has passed is done and gone. It's time to grab the reins and move on. We'll face this world, but not alone. This new family is now my home. The day is done, so I lay down my head. Who can say what's up ahead? It doesn't matter, nothing's set in stone. And whatever may come, I'm not alone. Another day, another dawn, another damn thing to get done. Far from home, we still toil away. Looking back somewhere we cannot stay. Breaking the chains we cannot see. We'll either be damned or we'll be free. Oh.
Good evening, everyone. We are still waiting for our DM, but you'll still be able to hang out with us for a little while. So, what do you think, guys? Should we hang out with chat for a little bit?
I think that'll be fun.
Oh, I can hear the TV in the background there.
That was my phone. I was on TikTok while we were waiting.
I can hear your phone in the background there.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Before we even got started, I already got like a scammer hawking their art in my Discord. Like, bro, like, stop it. Get some help.
Stop it. Get some help.
Stop it, Ron. Stop
It's like they all have the exact same script too. It's like, hey, I just wanted to ask you something if that's okay. It's like, that's already a red flag.
Right.
Like, I don't know you. And
Hi, I'm an up and coming.
yeah, exactly. I'm an up and coming, or I'm actually an artist and blah blah blah. No, you're not. You're a scammer. Stop. No artist is going to approach a streamer they don't know already and be like, hey, take a look at these, da 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 da. Like, no, that's not how this works.
Starfish, fund me, fund me, fund me.
Yeah, no kidding. Here,
I finally cleaned my shrimp army tank.
just like give me all of your like personal information so I can like steal all of your crap, but in return you get art that I stole from Pinterest. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. Sorry guys, but maybe stop. So yeah, I was not friendly at all, and I don't apologize for it.
Fair enough.
It's probably a good thing I just remembered to change my Fuki.
Yeah,
I was just about to text you about that.
yeah, I actually just had to like recenter your Fugi.
Aw. I'm no longer kissing Iris.
But yeah, they're all like, actually, the thing is that I'm an artist seeking some commissions of my own, reaching out to people I thought would be interested. Any chance you'd like to give it a go? Here's some of the previous art that I did. Here's the thing, though. You still have the watermark on it.
It ain't your watermark, is it?
It has nothing to do with their name at all. Like, if like that's how you're trying to advertise, you're gonna make your Discord name your art name, so people know it's not. So I simply just asked them, is this how you get your kicks? Like, does anyone actually fall for this? Seriously, stop wasting people's time. Every streamer already knows that any artist approaching them to hawk their crap is a scammer. And if this is how you live your life, then it's no wonder why Mr. Rogers is disappointed in you. You aren't living up to the potential that he saw in you. Now stop wasting my time. I have more important things to focus on. Don't message me again. And then I told them that I'm also going to be reporting them to the owner of the Discord that they messaged me from.
I almost choked on my pork chop. That was so funny.
Yeah, don't. Just don't. Like, don't. Okay? I'm not the fucking bitch you fuck with when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Speaking of art, a lot of our character art posted in the Discord is made by this lovely bitch Mabla here. And we love her
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. A Ruby's Fugi is made by. That's not made by May. You made that with AI, didn't you?
No, mine is made by May. May's is made by May, and yours is made by May. Will and
Yeah.
Iris's are not, and
Yeah.
so is Birdbang.
Yeah.
Mine is AI.
Yeah, Iris's is AI. Ruby's, Liz's, and mine are made by May. Or Liz
I've
here.
never. Yeah, I've never been lucky enough to be around anyone who has artistic talents like me. So
Yeah.
Day.
Yeah. There's
I heard all-
legendary.
I heard autistic talent. I might have misheard.
I mean, technically, yes, I have that.
Hism talent.
We simply haven't had the opportunity to get every party member to have the same art style just yet, but we will be there.
I'm
Yeah.
working on it. I'm sorry.
We're
Take
not
your time.
rushing
You're
you.
good.
It's fine.
You're completely fine, May. I'm just giving you a lovely little call out because your art is amazing.
yeah, we got to give the props where they come.
Recognition
Cringe.
for my work. How 1970s of you.
You're giving me attention.
There is another artist that I believe is probably listening right now because I know that, and she does pop into streams to lurk for a while, but I've asked her if she can do some artwork of the party.
Hell yeah.
Some of you already know who it is, but it's this same person that does my other Fugi. Let me actually go over and grab that to show it off. And it turns out that when I have two browsers out, like two browser windows, it lags. So that's what that's been. It's my PC. Yeah. But yeah, this Fugi here is done by said artist that I just mentioned.
Humna.
And the Sim is back.
I'm always here, motherfucker.
Someone get the spray bottle.
I like water.
I don't. Oh,
Who says
great.
it's
We're
water?
just gonna make her wetter.
I was just gonna have it be a bottle of the cleaning solution I inadvertently poisoned my cat with when I was a kid.
I beg your fucking pardon.
It was an accident. We were.
Excuse me for eating, by the way.
You're good. We were training the new cat. You know, I was like 5. You know, this is Smokey. You know, my absolute favorite childhood cat, childhood animal that I've had. But we were breaking him in. You know, because he had been outdoor. And so we had this little spray bottle. What is it? That was, you know, just filled with water. And this is probably the first time that my dad showed sign of where I get my airheadedness. After he got the bottle, it was, you know, just a standard cleaning solution bottle. It had been dumped out, rinsed, replaced with water. It wasn't a clear one, and he forgot to mark it as water.
Yep, that's
So
it.
when
Okay.
when the two of them were side by side, I didn't bother to take the time to sniff because I was getting my ass clawed out. and I sprayed him with the chemical cleaner.
Oh my god.
John,
Yeah.
that poor cat.
Okay, so it's entirely your dad's fault. Got it.
No,
Yeah.
it was mostly Mike. I kind of went in on him a little bit.
No, it's straight up your dad's fault. That's something that we learned when I was working in environmental services. If you have to clear out a bottle to use, you have to mark it. You have to. You'll get fired if you don't.
No, yeah, I repeated that mistake with one of the cats that my ex and I took in after we had gotten together too.
Got you.
So
So
runs in the
now
family.
I believe we're just waiting for bird buddy, bird buddy,
Bird
bird
buddy,
buddy.
bird buddy, bird buddy.
Bird buddy, bird buddy, bird buddy.
Gothic chicken!
I was like,
TV.
Part of me
I'm-
thinks we should just like make a something for the soundboard that is just us chanting "Bird Buddy" like all completely.
Honestly,
there we go.
Everybody!
Hola.
Hola.
Working and trying to get my browser to work. Sorry.
I love how like this has actually become a thing where we just say her name 3 times and she appears.
Shortly after.
Did you guys just do that? Seriously?
Yes,
Yes,
yeah,
we
we
did.
literally
Oh my
just did that.
God.
Yeah, I set it up, you know, it's like, okay, so it looks like we got most of the party here. All we're waiting for is bird buddy, bird buddy, bird buddy. And about maybe a minute after, you pop in.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I guess it's just meant to be. No,
I
I'm
wonder if this will become a
testing
trend.
my browser to see if it'll work tonight. So
Okay.
we'll find out.
Alright, so,
Alright, so without further
still
ado,
seeing.
Hmm?
I'm still seeing Ruby and Liz aren't in, and I know Bird Buddy's got computer issues that may kind of prevent. But
Oh, roll 20? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm coming.
yeah, and roll 20.
If
I'm
my
coming.
just if you guys to let you guys know, if I do pop off, I have my backup and I have paper copies for this reason.
Sweet.
So I'm just hoping my browser can handle it tonight.
I'm sure we'll be okay. We've got
I do-
contingencies.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
have a replacement PC on the way. A friend is letting me
Nice.
use their old laptop. So
Awesome. Yeah.
Huzzah!
Or like, you know, the Batman of D&D parties. There's contingencies on contingencies. The only thing that absolutely cannot fail is my internet. Otherwise, stream's dead.
fair enough. Yeah.
God, can you imagine the absolute nightmarish shit Bird Buddy could come up with prep time?
Yeah, no kidding. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started here. We only got limited time.
Yes. So, last time, the Broken Chains had found themselves having survived a tough battle against Lorcus Kelman in a dugout cavern beneath a warehouse in Oriacaster. In the midst of the fight, our heroes trying to come up with a course of action following the fight, they were soon beset upon by members of the Teeming Legion, with the 3 members of the Wyverns having disappeared from the area after agreeing to meet with the party the following morning. Our heroes talked with the members of the Teeming Legion and agreed to give testimonies the following morning, giving Six a chance to recover from her exposure to Glimmer. During the walk back to the tavern, Six had oddly hypnotic dreams of accentuated light mixed with the sounds of heavy, raspy breathing while dwelling in an unknown city, before finding herself laying next to her beloved sister in a long-distant memory for the remainder of the night while Liz had tended to her. The following morning, our heroes kept their word and gave their testimonies to Lieutenant Ravenstar regarding the events of the previous night, before heading to continue prepping for their journey to Rembark's Rest. Just after they had left the tavern, they briefly reunited with the 3 members of the Wyverns they had fought alongside, who introduced themselves as Siobhan Del Rey, Ivan Karsten, and Organ Bolwar. With Siobhan removing what seemed to be a device akin to a sending stone from Liz, and Six alone having clued in on Orgum's past with the magistrate Feyre. With our heroes stocked up on supplies for their journey northward, the lingering question of what's to come in Rembark's Rest lies before them. So it's about midday now as you guys are heading out the western gate down here. If I can pin you guys properly.
Oh, I see it.
Was it alt click or control click?
We've already
That
got it down there. We've already got it down there. You already did it.
oh, okay. So it doesn't do it on my side anymore. Okay.
Never did.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and take it away because I need to have my fucking ramen. But you guys are free to role play for this half day, and then we'll do a random event and roll tomorrow.
Yeah,
So-
I'm in the lead, I assume, with Will on our horses.
Yeah. Usual riding formation, I'd assume, if otherwise stated.
Okay.
Squish bird buddy.
So it also dawns on me I don't have a bag of holding, so I'm just like holding my staff.
There's a sling on it that you can sling it over your back.
Yeah, but how
Ruby would offer.
it'd be
Sorry.
so awkward, like on horseback. Like it's already awkward with like a spear, for example. You know, for
Right.
lancers and what have you.
Well, you could probably like lash it to the back of the saddle and just balance it on the horse's butt.
Probably, but it also creates a cross section.
And
I think I'll like probably fasten it like to the saddle itself, lengthwise, so I can just reach down and grab it as is.
yeah. So it's kind of like a what's the right word? It's kind of almost like barding.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I
the
mostly just
six
use
look
this. Sorry, Ruby. I mostly just use the staff for training anyway, so it doesn't need to be like immediately at the ready. Go ahead.
Or it could be in the cart.
The 6 looks like she's struggling to handle her stuff.
No, she's like, she's fine. Yeah, no, like, the glimmer had very intense effects, but not.
Oh, I meant trying to fit everything onto her horse
Oh,
because
no.
I'm the one with the dimensional boob pocket. I'm
You're
willing
gonna
to
put
share
Creeping.
space.
Look. Neither I nor Six wants to molest Ruby every time I need to arm up. No.
Oh my!
Oh, while that.
I didn't realize that
You're
the
thinking is
cart
Ruby wants
seats
six
out.
staff between her tits.
Yeah, that's another thing. We can also just like leave it in the cart. And it's mostly just the logistics of like
Right.
where I'd put the staff, but
Other than her weapon, is there anything else she would like stored in a safe, dry place?
my face.
I don't know if you really want to be dry per se.
At least at
That being
first.
said, remember the only personal effects that actually have value that don't have outside of the ones that have value specifically to 6 is just her staff, which is on her, and then her gauntlets, which are still at the blacksmith. Everything else is just in a knapsack, so it's pretty much air right now in that knapsack.
Yeah, like I have pretty much nothing. Like I have the staff, which is more sentimental value than it is like monetary value. I don't have anything of real financial value.
Is there enough room up front or somewhere that can be heard for everybody with the radio?
I would say
Talking
if
about the cart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cart
I-
itself
I-
seats the one person in the front, and then there's seating for at around 4 to 5 people, depending on size within the inside. So
yeah,
I
in terms of like maybe getting a signal, as well as making sure everybody can hear it. If 6 and Will kind of shrink their lead distance to maybe like 15 feet, and then you kind of like have it, someone just kind of sitting up on the top holding it to get a better signal. I would
Yes.
say you would have to set it at not in a terribly loud volume, so everyone can hear it.
I give it to Bird Buddy and say, "Hey, do you want to sit with this up on top while you do your book?"
speaking of book, I actually sent Pringle a message about that because I'm not sure if that's actually a thing this time or not.
You did that.
The day before, or is that
Crap. That was this morning. That was this
Okay.
morning because you spent the night in the cart, taxidermying your former traveling companion's head.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, so that's still active. So that's still active.
Okay, so I don't actually need to play with the book today. I can, but
Or
if
honestly, Liz is just letting whoever wants to play with the radio up top.
Iris will probably be up there because she's still freaked out about the whole head in the.
on the mantle thing,
She would have gotten probably tried to get on Six's horse, but since we had to get going, it probably just hopped up on top on her thing. So she could
Ruby
probably hold it if you
is
want.
walking next to the cart for a bit.
Oh,
Is
nobody
she
wants to ride
also-
with the head.
No.
I mean, there's steps in the back. You can sit on the steps, but yeah, it is carrying on the mantle in the wagon.
Liz would place the radio up top and like slide it towards Iris.
Iris is completely fascinated by this, so,
So, go
she's
ahead.
twiddling with the knobs.
So are we
Just
listening to
trying to
like
understand.
are we listening to like music or like news or like radio
Yes.
transmissions?
Right now,
I
Iris is
will.
looking through them.
I will actually have Sambo, the player.
Yes.
Do you want to, because you've at least seen Liz fiddle with it enough to get like the general ballpark of a couple stations? Do you want to try for some of those stations, or you just kind of want to try and wing it and see if you can find something else, perhaps? Because it'll be two different. It'll be two differing types of roles depending on which one you go with.
Well, I'm just fascinated by this because this is the first time Iris has ever seen like this in her hands. So she's probably going to be examining it and probably fiddling. So nothing, probably searching, just out of curiosity. So
Okay. If you're just mindlessly searching, go ahead and roll me a D100, please.
And in
So
the midst,
percent.
sorry, and while Iris is doing that, can you check Discord?
Yes.
Iris is like the toddler that discovered the car has a radio for the first time.
yes.
Oh my fucking god! Did you really have to bring my attention to that?
I did, yes.
So yeah,
Where the heck is my coat?
D100. So that's a
There it is.
percentage dial and then another one, or yeah.
Two D10s,
Percentile and then your D10.
All right, so I got a 97.
My favorite
97.
number.
Okay, well,
I'm
we'll come to
sorry.
that eventually. No, you're good. So you all seeing this adorably country bumpkin, if you will, cat girl just kind of fiddle with it. Like she had mentioned, she'd seen some kind of higher end artifice before, but nothing which she could actually sit down and look at. I need everybody to make con saves.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
What have you done, Kat?
Oh fuck.
We love con saves.
13.
One time I'm not playing a barbarian and you make me throw the most fucking con saves I've ever had to in my life.
You're welcome.
19.
Ugh.
19. Okay.
I'm working on it.
Dirty
So,
20.
for everybody
Okay.
rolled pretty low.
Wow.
I know,
What'd you
right?
roll?
Hold on. I gotta see what my modifier is.
You know what? No, I'm not giving luck out right now.
I rolled an 8.
Total of 8, everybody? Okay.
Total of 8. And I'm the one handling the
Wow.
wagon, by the way.
Total of 13.
Me too.
Okay.
15.
So, for everyone that rolled lower than 10, which I think is Bird Buddy, which actually works out considering your passive, all of you hear intense radio static to the point it's screeching. Before you all see Iris just kind of freak out, and just turn it, and actually sets it to one of the usual channels that you listen to, Liz. Nothing significant is going on. It's just kind of some mellow traveling music, funnily enough. But the intense static, go ahead and roll 1d6, and you'll take that as psychic damage, Bird Buddy.
Sorry.
It's all good. It just took
Maybe
6
next
points of
word.
damage.
God.
Oof. Maybe next time you're switching through the channels, you keep the volume low.
Bird Buddy is actively wincing and like flailing with the reins in their hand.
Oh
Uh,
no.
Uh,
Are we
can I-
lurching forward?
Can I roll to like steady Bird Buddy?
I'm just gonna like kind of like lean towards Will a little bit, like on the horse, ahead of the cart. And just like, yeah, I found that one last night. I didn't tell anybody. I'm so happy.
Okay.
Ruby's actively moving away from the fucking cart and towards 6 and Wilmore.
A light
away!
jog.
So yeah,
Bounce, bounce, bounce.
I'm Dickly too. Anyway,
I
Don't run that fast. You'll give yourself a black eye.
I'm gonna give you all a Okay.
So,
Oh.
Sorry.
sorry.
Go ahead,
So, I do have a question, Six.
Hmm.
Those names on your shoulder, do they hold significance to you?
It's my family.
I see. And Will just considers a thought for a brief moment if he should get the names of his parents and possible sibling tattooed onto his arm. Just for a brief moment. Were they...
Some people just can't let go.
Yeah. I get that. Part of the reason I visit the library in Trustville. They have a plaque for all the victims of my village and Rembark's Rest.
Yeah, well,
My parents were among them.
I didn't exactly have a library to go to. So I made one.
Were they good to you?
Sorry. I the player didn't understand what you said. What?
Were they good to you?
I wouldn't have them embedded into my flesh if they weren't.
That's understandable. Stupid comment.
It's alright, kid. I appreciate you for trying to understand.
I admit, I only ever had I, as far as I know, was an only child.
The majority of my family is more foster, kind of adoptive. The only one that's blood related is my sister Dizzy.
What was she like?
You kind of went staticky there for a sec. Run that by me one more time.
What was she like?
She was the smartest kid I've ever met. Girl could look at a pile of trash and make something out of it. Nothing went to waste. I mean, even like empty cans of food, bottles, rusted nails, everything was put to use. We didn't really have garbage, we just had potential, and she saw it in everything. And she was kind of the brains between the two of us. Of course, I was the brawn. And she was my duo. I mean, we're a team. Not a day goes by I don't think about her.
Must have been nice.
It was for a while. It was never easy, but it was easier.
Will nods and leaves it at that. He will not ask what you don't want to talk about.
How about you, kiddo? What your folks think?
My mother studied magic. Whether she was going to be an artificer or a wizard, I didn't know. I was too young to understand. And my dad was a blacksmith. Every day he would come home talking about how he made this amazing dagger or a potential in this iron that he plans to forge into a steel sword worthy of the next hero. Or, well, making knives for cutlery. I was going to work with him.
Is that something that you want to do? Do you want to be a blacksmith? I don't know if you heard me. Well,
I had getting too into character. So, upon hearing that, he had said that he had considered it. You know, he was fascinated.
you're cutting out so bad, Ark.
Shit.
Yeah. Like, rejoin VC. Let's run that one more time.
Okay.
We have to have some scuff.
Yeah, build character.
I think I've had enough scuff for one day.
I mean, there's
Oh,
probably going to
jeez,
be
yeah.
more. Oh, welcome back, Ark. Let's test it. Radio check.
Testing, and I heard loud and clear.
Okay. So, one more time.
Good so far.
Okay, sorry. I'm trying not to get too emotional.
You're good.
So anyway, we'll just... He smiles and says, I considered it.
You should give it a shot.
I mean, being 6 years old, brought to the forge, seeing a bar of metal get turned into a tool was something that it fascinated me. And while I never got the chance to practice the trade. I do admire the work of others, whether it's from Bloodbath or beyond, or any other place that I stumble upon. And, well, it would have been my legacy if it were still around.
So several times during that expose, I suppose, it looks like Sis is trying to respond until you tack on another and then she pauses and waits, and then opens her mouth to speak, and then there's another and she waits to speak. But eventually, she'll tack on, I hear smithing is a fairly honorable trade. I mean, Six remembers her name. I don't. The blacksmith and Oriacaster that was checking out my ass.
Katuri.
Katuri, that
Katuri,
was it. I wanted to put an S in there somewhere.
Yeah, it's like,
Being
That's
able to
Terry's hat.
not yet, it's not. In the time working with Katuri here in Oriacaster, it's hot, heavy work. You're gonna put on a lot of muscle. But if that's something that you want to try, I mean, I know a little something about a something, so maybe I can help get you started.
Maybe once I'm done finding the truth.
And look, when it comes to blacksmithing, kid, the truth comes at the end of a hammer. That's all you really need to know. You don't need to think about the politics of anything. You just hammer to steel.
Oh. I meant, once I figure out everything that happened, I will consider picking it up.
So say that you do figure out everything that happened. What are you going to do to change it? What can you do to change it? So say you figure out, oh, so-and-so, hypothetical, killed your folks. And then, I don't know, was eaten by a plant. What then? Say you find that out. There's nothing that you can do to change it. The world is just what it is. What, are you going to kneel beside your bed at night and just wish for something to be different? That's not going to do anything for tomorrow. You know what can, though? Pick up a trade. Do something. Carry on with your life. Yeah, that pain's still going to be there, but use it to fuel your creations. Do something with it. Anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Well, of course, puts it into consideration. And
Okay.
it reminds him of what Drada had told him, which is to not just focus on the one thing.
okay. Looks like
Iris
Liz
was
and
kind of listening in too. Sorry,
no, you're good.
he was staying silent.
Okay. Looks like Liz wants to have a chit chat with BB, so we'll go ahead and do that next.
So it's after the whole radio screech, but
Yeah, everything's settled now. It wasn't jarring enough to like careen off course, but it did like it even startled the axe beaks a little. But
Just a few head scratches and whatnot. And BB's back to sitting. And Liz's laugh and whatnot.
Liz actually looks down to Bird Buddy and goes, So we all talk about Advalor and enough about the neutral zone. Where are you from, Valejivor?
BB kind of like they're kind of silent for a minute, and they look north, and they just say home.
Okay.
They kind of like use their head and like nudge or motion in that direction.
What's home like?
I never know.
It sounded like BB said you never know.
Does it change often?
They kind of nod,
Hmm.
and they kind of look out. What kind of terrain are we in right now, Jim?
Right now, it's still plains, but a little bit more hilly as you guys are heading northward. Having come out of the west gates, you can see in the distance, right near the horizon, is where the beginning of the Thundering Thicket begins to climb up into the mountains that head into Torshavn. I mean, the closest you've gotten to your homeland's territory is the denser woods in the northern ridgeline, but it's nothing like this.
Is there anything near within like that horizon that BB specifically would be aware of?
Go ahead and give me a history check.
Well, I meant more specific to BB.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'll tag someone on next, but go ahead and give me a history check, see if you pick up anything else.
It's a base 19 of history is a 3. So 19, 21, 23.
Okay. 22. With that history check, while there isn't much, especially with this far west, concerning you haven't been this far west, if you consider the longitude and latitude of your position, as you comparing it to your homeland. You would have picked up here and there that the Thundering Thicket, while having elements of what could be considered fey, almost influence that's deeply entrenched into the Torshavn lands, you would have picked up that the Thundering Thicket actually gets its name from the occasional Torshavn war band that travels along the borderline. Let's see. You're looking for that. For that, give me a perception.
That is a 17 plus 8.
17 plus 8, 25. You would remember, just after the screech, you would remember seeing that heading northward. But it's still keeping its distance.
Okay.
But yeah, in terms of what you know about the woodlands and the Thundering Thicket, it's believed that it's gotten the name from the war bands that occasionally trickle through from Torshavn, but tend to travel along the border.
And BB will look the woods ahead of them, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna look towards the woods and nod a little bit and mimic the sound of a wood.
Would I be able to recognize what that sound is?
Give me a nature check.
Nature. All right. totally great at those.
Iris would definitely know, right?
Yes, it would.
Okay. Okay. I think we sufficiently threatened my dice enough last game. Because that is a total of 15.
Total of 15. Yeah, it's simple enough. While you didn't really come across many, while you're down in the southern sands of Advalor, near the capital, and your small bit of traveling that you did in the southern areas, you would recognize it. That is the sound of a raven.
Mhm.
And you would have seen a fair bit more concerning the slow trickle from industrial into the desert and then into thriving woodlands and plains of the northern area of Rudania.
That's really cool, Belishivor. I think that's the right way to use that word.
And everybody says you.
Home is home. It's much, much hotter. Very hot. Sometimes even so hot that the sand would burn even my feet when walking. There's a lot there. Though I think some of my other fellow Advalorans might have traveled more. I stayed mostly to the very south.
Why here?
Why here? Did you hear the chat we had with the magistrate?
But he just shrugs a little. Maybe.
Exile or death? And after some convincing, I chose exile.
Everybody's a little quiet. And says the word hello. Everybody
Della?
says the word hello. Yeah.
Della is, well, if she still wants to be, one of my best friends. She, was one of the only knights that's treated me like an actual, person rather than just a squire when I was still training, and remained my friend even after I earned my sword. I spent many a night going and finding where she went to bring her home in her drunken stupor.
Everybody's kind of like laughing, just slightly. Hearing the smile, hearing, knowing Liz as well as they do, they're just a slight chuckle.
She was endlessly upset that I wasn't looking for pleasures amongst the drunkards.
Everybody's definitely laughing now.
She wanted me
Like-
to loosen up a little. I am glad that she has achieved Warden. It's good to hear that she's still doing well.
Honestly, it's a good thing you did loosen up a little bit. I was worried your cloaca was going to start to wrinkle.
Will starts cackling because that was a much needed laugh after such a heavy conversation for him.
Liz just sighs. You don't know a thing about me, Six.
Yeah, I mean, I know a few things, but sorry to interrupt. Carry on, guys.
Why are you traveling now?
Why
I
do I
know.
travel? Well, Liz points to Six. I have to keep track of that one.
She just raises an arm and waves.
And it feels like something is urging me to move forward now. Whether it's my own want to improve. What is the word? Not horror. Not ha. Fate. Fate. That's the common word for it. Whether it's my own will, fate, something else pulling me towards everything. That's why I decided to, I guess, stop hiding.
You believe in fate?
Hmm?
Do you believe in fate?
Sorta? I think, honestly, I think fate's what we make of it. Like, I was always going to end up the way I did, not because of fate, but because that's my nature, right? Like, it's like the word prejudge. And that is, it's something that is difficult or time consuming, but you do it because it is within your nature to do it.
Fate doesn't actually have too much to say. They're actually strangely quiet. They do kind of let the word agreed pass, but they're obviously like staying quiet for there's a thought there, kind of like struggling to find the person's words to say it, kind of thing.
Liz wouldn't know anything about that. uh, lean back. You okay up there, Iris?
Yeah, just y'all are making me think a lot about my choices too.
We all have choices. What do you choose?
With what time I have left, I want to set some things right. Maybe make some people happier. I don't know if it's fate. I was given a really big change in my fate. I always thought that I was fated to take over my father's business as well, making potions. But now I'm here with you guys and fulfilling a childhood dream of being an adventurer. How reality has been different, but
It's a little bit different in practice than thought, huh?
Well, yet. But if it helps people, whether it's you guys or explaining what happened, and I think I'm okay with it. I don't know how long I can be able to do it, but I'm happy to help. I'll just not try my best not to hurt people along the way as much as I can.
Nah, fuck them if they deserve it. Hurt them. Tell you one
No, they
thing,
don't.
though. I'll tell you one thing, though. Being an adventurer has been pretty awesome for me. Last time I saw so much ass in one place, I was in prison.
Doesn't leave
6.
much for experience.
What?
I'm afraid I didn't see much ass in my captivity because it was mostly dark. But
I mean, we can fix that if you really want.
Can we not?
What? Can't I take my fellow party member to a brothel if I want to?
Here come the wrinkles.
wrinkles?
Hang
Will
on, I'm
is
broken.
just-
You broke
Will
me.
is just
You
dying.
absolutely broke me. Because Liz wouldn't be laughing at this, I promise.
Is that how you get wrinkles?
One of
You
these
know
days.
what? I never thought I would do anything outside of work, and well, Drada and Octavia both said that I should make more friends, and I think I managed to do at least that.
There's no reason you can't work and make friends at the same time. I mean, that's kind of what we're already doing. We're doing a job that allows for a lot more freedom than, I don't know, working a desk. So, it's not really exile or death. And by the way, Liz, you and I need to have a chat about that. It took convincing to not die.
The Advalorian Castle Art Council tend to have a stick so far up their ass, not even their own mother could unlodge it.
Preaching to the choir, honey. I'm from Stonegate.
I do want to know why you're trying to send a letter into the kiln, though, of all things.
I beg your fucking pardon. What?
Yeah.
Was I just like tuned out for this?
Yes, you were.
It
You were
it
too
was with the
entranced by that lamp.
magistrate.
Look, no one goes into the kiln except people like me, apparently. And once in, nothing gets out. So why are you trying to get anything into the kiln?
The same reason I almost chose death.
Baby pipes up. Why go in where pottery made?
It's not the place you make pottery, Bird Buddy. It's
a different kiln,
oh.
little one. But like it kind of starts to click there. At least for Six, anyway. You know, the severity of the choice, the questions about how, you know, not everybody in the kiln deserves to be there, the rings.
When you know in the kiln.
It's we'll figure out a way.
It's been 2 years. Who knows what's happened since then?
Well, it's been a less amount of time since I got out. I sort of made a name for myself in there. We'll get you in.
I mostly just want to get them out. I don't really care to go in.
Am I hearing prison break?
No. No.
I'm hearing prison break.
You're not hearing prison. Why?
Ruby,
Why do you
Ruby.
always...
We're not talking about a prison break. She's a cop. We don't talk about illegal things in front of former.
Harry baby. Harry
Hang on a sec.
baby.
Okay, hang on a sec. What's up, YTC? Welcome in. I actually forgot to put the reminder up. But yeah, how's it going, YTC? We're in the middle of roleplay, so carry on, guys.
Former scale guard.
It's as you guys are in the midst of this conversation, you realize that unbeknownst to Six, Lady is now kind of like slightly turned and is like at an angle, like side trotting, trying to get everyone's attention as the sun is beginning to set.
I want to sleep.
I'm tired, guys. My little hooves can't take any more walking.
Really fulfilling the princess name.
6.
My mane is being bent.
Yeah.
6. Your horse.
Yeah, I know. She's tired. Let's find a clearing.
All right.
Tally-ho.
All right, everyone. Everyone, give me perception checks to find a good one. Iris, you're much more familiar with area, and as you've kind of been, as the conversation's been going on, you've been picking up things here and there in terms of getting close to the ridgeline, so you get advantage.
I spoke too soon.
16.
I'm so glad I had advantage. The first one was a nat 1. I rolled again. It was a 19. So
Hold on.
What did you roll?
Okay, what was it for?
Perception to find a clearing to camp in.
Sorry, my laptop crashed. I got kicked out of Roll20.
You're okay, boo.
You're good.
I've got a 20.
If I remember correctly,
I've got a 23.
I think.
Oh my goodness. I've got a 23.
All right.
So mine's a dirty 21. So.
Do you
23,
want me to
21.
roll, Sean? Or do you want me to just pass it?
If you want to use passive, it's up to you. Considering things that have been going on around you, you'd probably be more interested in that stuff. So I would say you go with your passive this time.
The conversation has Liz completely distracted because I rolled a natural 1.
Ooh.
6.
Okay, we can say that Phoebe is like seeing Liz upset and just like distracted, trying to keep Liz from
Crashing the
being
car.
Liz.
I think I have 4 for perception, so 19.
Okay. Ruby?
It was a 16.
16, okay. Doesn't take too particularly long. Bird Buddy, you kind of bring the cart off to the side and follow the others before setting up and kind of surveying the situation while you kind of get Liz focused. And there's a decent clearing. It's just as the tree line starts reaching out into the plains. So there's a smattering of small trees here and there. Not too much in terms of wildlife. Some birds are kind of nested up on a couple of the branches. You can maybe pick out a deer running from a couple wolves further into the woods. But it seems like a pretty solid spot to lay low for the night.
Begin like unpacking and setting up tents and helping in that particular aspect.
Yeah. BB's pretty much doing the same thing and avoiding people.
Liz is gonna work on the fire
Oh, okay.
and dinner.
Are you working on the fire using your breathing the way I think it is?
You know what? Can I?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a dex check.
Yay, I'm so good at dex checks.
With advantage, because Iris will help.
Okay.
Okay. Advantage was necessary. 14 plus, I think, 0. So 14 total.
Okay.
Yeah, 14
Uh,
plus 0.
Now, as you set a few stone, some of your cutlery and stuff off to the side, you can see that Iris is already kind of picking up small rocks and bringing them into a circle. And as she sees you getting set up with a little bit of the brush and kindling, she kind of looks to you and kind of consoles you a little bit further, given the tenseness of the conversation just before you guys set up for your watches and for setting up for the night. And you just kind of idly chit chat, talking probably a little bit about your radio. And it's in the calmness that you realize as you've been breathing, a small ember has already begun to catch in the little bit of brush that's in your hand. You kind of set it down into the fire real quick. You can now use your breath to light fire.
Yay!
I helped.
Yay! I almost made a really bad joke. I'm gonna send it to you because it's a spoilery joke.
But from here, you guys can decide who's going to be on watch and what you guys are working on. What you guys want to work on while on watch. So we can get going to the next day.
I am gonna take last watch. I always do. But, like, I'm gonna spend a little bit before bedding down to strength train.
All right. So 6 is on last.
I'll go.
Who's-
first
I'll
watch
take
with
last.
Ruby.
I'll take a first watch.
I'll take
Alright,
first
so-
with Ruby.
Liz, Ruby, Iris on last. So that leaves Will and BB in the middle.
Yes.
Oh boy. That'll be fun.
And Ruby's gonna train her decks a little bit.
All right.
BB's going to people watch and go over the information and work on the wisdom.
All right, everyone go ahead and make your rolls and just pocket them in the back of your head for the time being. And we will jump into first watch with Liz and Ruby.
Can I let, before we do that, can I let 6 use me as a punching bag to train my con?
Sure.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's how I'll strength train, but also train Liz's con.
All right, yeah. Go ahead and both of you make a.
Iris is
Both
just
of you-
gonna watch confused.
I need
And BB
Strength from-
helped by giving one bardic inspiration and healing on the other.
So
Sure.
I
Hold on, guys. 6 strength at advantage. Liz con at advantage, since BB's helping you guys.
You know what? Liz also has an extra 5. Oh wait, I get to roll a d6 because I'm going to use that roll from earlier in the day.
Okay.
They get an extra 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hit points.
Okay. But yeah, I just need straight strength, and con from both of you at advantage.
all right, Red. This is gonna hurt.
18 for my con.
Okay.
Plus, wait, hang on, plus stuff, I think? Do I have con? I don't know if I have con.
You should.
I have
Based on your
1,
class.
so 19.
Okay.
Gonna do my best to pull my punches. It's still gonna hurt though.
That's alright.
Wouldn't be the
Ruby
first
just
time
looks
you
at-
punched her.
Ruby just looks at the two of them. I'm not healing either one of you.
Natural 23.
Iris,
Oh.
you can't.
Does this feel like the hit from the mace?
Who turned to
Hold on.
center?
BB, you said were you chiming in with something real quick?
Oh, they just get healed after the fact, and they also get an extra 9 hit points.
Okay. I'm not gonna have them deduct
Yeah.
hit points or anything
Yeah,
crazy
no,
like
I'm
that.
not. I'm not like rolling to hit. That's my strength check.
But yeah, it's as you finish setting up the fire, you kind of let BB and Iris overlook the cooking, and as the two of you, Six and Liz, you kind of set off to the side, feeling that having been calmed from Iris and Bird Buddy, you're like, all right, no, rubbing your hands together, feeling confident, you got your breath down, and you guys go at it, using Six's fists as essentially medicine balls to your stomach. You just kind of put your arms up, you just kind of tense, and to your surprise, Six, she lasts pretty well, to the point you're almost tempted to really unwind. But it's as you start noticing you get a little bit weaker, a little bit later into your exercises, she kind of takes a quick step back, and you get a little bit higher than you were expecting as you kind of
solar plexus.
right into the solar plexus, into the chest,
Ooh.
and Liz, you get the wind knocked out of you, not to the point where you fall, but you kind of stagger back, and for the briefest of moments, you're back in the sanctorum. You could feel the memory of the blood trickling down from near your eye from when your mentor clocked you pretty good. But all in all,
you'd see Liz's
solid.
hand, instead of going to the solar plexus, actually go to her face.
And
Shit, are you good?
solid. Hold on, guys. Solid training on both of your sides. Each of you +1 to your respective stats.
Yes.
Towards leveling it, I should say.
Okay.
I
So I'm
my over 20 was a natural. Isn't that +2?
Yeah, you get +2.
Okay.
okay.
I go up in strength score.
Nice.
So that puts it at out of 9 for the future, right?
Yep, out of 9.
So what's mine out of?
What's your score? Your
12. Or my constitution?
12?
Yeah, 12.
Your con. Yep. So con is 5. So you have to hit 5.
All right, I'm back in.
I got a modifier jump too. That puts my strength at
Sweet.
18.
Nice.
Nice.
Iris, seeing that last big hit, will lean over to Bird Bunny. He's like, I half expected that would shoot fire out.
So yeah, I'll go and like just drape Liz's arm over my shoulders, like, dude, you good? Like that sucked.
I've taken a mace to the face before. I think I'll be alright.
I have taken some mace to the face too, but it didn't. Never mind. Come on, let's go sit down.
Since I brought it up, Iris and BB, both of you give me survival checks.
Survival.
For cooking.
Yes.
All right, I'm back
By
in.
the way, I
Good.
am absolutely putting the spicy sauce in it.
Dirty 20.
It says survival.
Yes.
Survival.
21. Dirty 21.
Dirty 21. Okay. This will be a side that you guys can choose from.
Okay.
To add, but as you get some set aside some rations to nibble on, you set up a little bit of some of the dried meat. Cook a little bit of vegetables into the pot and kind of stir it into a little bit of a stew. It's a little bit not as watery like stew. It's just kind of a big crock pot. But as you guys are setting out for dinner, you guys see that in in BB's plate, being sizzled by the hot vegetables and the food are small little grubs.
So,
Adding a little bit of Torshavn flavoring into it.
so when Bibi says that she put the spicy stuff in there, which spicy stuff?
Baby only has the really spicy one.
So, did Bibi let anybody know that?
Did you,
was
Bibi?
there?
I did make sure that it wasn't too bad. Right?
I
Alright,
rolled a con save.
all right, hold on. So, would Iris have intervened in making sure it was not, I'm breathing fire like back in Trustfell? Would you at least intervene to kind of like dial it back a little bit during the
Yes.
during the cooking?
Yes, for
Okay.
everyone else's portion, but not for BB's.
Okay. All right. So you would at least gotten, and Liz's. All right. So you would at least gotten the spices in after and kind of let it sit. So BB and Liz's would have been the last one. The first one's out to soak into the seasoning. So don't worry about that concept, Six.
Good, because it was a natural one.
Oh, Pringle.
That save.
Liz.
I heard
looks
someone
at
reaching
you.
out to me.
Sorry.
Someone call me.
It was
Oh.
me.
Okay. What's up, Will?
You know how I bought stuff in the shop in Trustfell before our journey, specifically gloves and a jar of Carolina Reaper dust?
Uh-huh.
He's finally gonna put some on the glove.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and give me straight intelligence to make sure you get it set up in such a way where it'll help without, and you'll know where it is so you don't inadvertently wipe your own eyes.
Oh, I already have a plan. He puts on the gloves, opens the jar, takes like a little pinch to smear on the palm of the glove with one hand, and with the other hand, which is also gloved, he turns said glove inside out.
Okay. Yep. If that's what you're gonna do, then go ahead and just give me a straight dex.
Dexterity. I am high on dexterity.
Mhm.
Okay.
Get high off that.
Get high up the spice,
acrobatics.
maybe, but
Is another 19.
You spicing?
Oh yeah. Jesus. Yeah, it is enough. You do with that little bit of dexterity, it's not quite enough to where it'll set in, but at least for the first usage of it, it'll work as intended.
Liz
And-
looking over after holding her bowl over to Bird Buddy and being like, "I'll try."
Baby holds a grub with their fork from their mess kit.
Liz just takes it and pops it in her mouth.
And it's not even a small grub. It is the biggest one on their plate.
Oh,
Liz is willing to try.
God, how do I describe this?
Slimy
It's
yet
like-
satisfying.
It's kind of like,
I hate this fucking.
imagine if a gusher was filled with what was it just like liquid gummy cinnamon, and it's that thick viscousness that just kind of slides all the way down your throat. It's all,
But Liz likes it.
Slimy yet satisfying is fucking wild.
Oh.
okay. Oh,
I'm so no.
Iris is actually not surprised, considering her mom's choices of cooking.
Mhm.
It's- that's not new to her, so she's just kind of shrugs.
Okay.
Uh, I will say, give me a composure check because you haven't had Torshaven style cooking before. At advantage because it is spicy like you like it. So it's just straight 20.
Straight 20? Or
Yeah.
220?
Well, 2 20s, but just a straight 20, no mods for each roll.
That is a 19.
Yeah.
It is fucking delicious to you. It is
Bird
like
Buddy,
this is probably the most enjoyment you've had in your exile. It's just this one grub.
Bird Buddy would notice that Liz kind of eyes the grubs a little bit before going, "What are you doing with the spices?"
Everybody just laughs and and like takes a few off their plate and puts them on Liz's.
Just a little surprise attack should anyone try to ambush us.
You're going to attack people with spices?
I mean, did you not see how Six reacted when she ate just a potato chip coated in the stuff? Imagine how someone would react to inhaling that or getting it in their eyes.
Poorly. I've seen people do it while cooking. It's not good.
Phoebe raises a pouch at this point, a little tiny embroidered pouch of a very thin material. And what was the last thing Liz said again? I'm sorry, my brain farted.
I've seen.
Oh, that would. Go ahead.
I've seen people get it in their eyes while cooking. It's not pleasant.
Not pleasant. And it's filled with the pepper.
Liz is just over there like, but the spices, they're meant for cooking, not hurting.
Well, I guess
Well,
that depends on what people think. Like, I think I met a druid at one point saying that they were initially a defense mechanism for a plant. And it'll be my defense mechanism.
all right. But with that, as you guys, Liz enjoying this odd Torshaven delicacy added into your normal meal, and then Will's. You kind of contemplate Will's usage of the spices, straightforward enough at least at face value. We'll go ahead and just jump into watches, because I do want to keep us moving. So it'll be.
Sorry. I will say Iris was actually really happy to be cooking, but she, was being quiet and letting everyone else just humming to herself.
Liz and Ruby, you guys are up first.
Ruby's working on her decks, and I got a 17.
Okay. I'll say, for the sake of details, you kind of set out a couple thinner logs with Liz's help after the others go to bed. You just kind of balance beaming it.
Liz is one of the people you want helping you move logs.
Yep.
Would
with that 7?
For me, or are they even heavy enough to be strength training?
For you, they wouldn't be heavy enough.
Okay. Ruby just gets to watch Liz move logs like they're nothing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So?
You had quite the long conversation with the magistrate.
Yes.
Although you seem like utterly terrified of him.
Not the magistrate.
Then who?
The scale guard.
Even though you were one of them?
Didn't save me.
Mm. So am I like allowed to ask about that, or are you gonna like bare your teeth at me?
I won't growl at you. I might not answer, but I won't growl, I promise.
Okay. I'm not gonna go for like the big question of why you were kicked out, but like kind of want to.
I made some decisions and followed my heart.
Hmm. Okay. Uh. So. It's a little hard to ask questions. I don't know.
I've already promised not to bare my teeth or growl at you for any of the questions that you do ask.
I'm aware.
I just might not answer.
I'm aware. So you were kicked out.
Yes.
What were these decisions?
I followed my heart. That's all I'll say about that.
Okay.
At least for now.
And then you're friends with a the Drata? Or no, not Drata. Got the name Della?
Immerdell.
Immerdell.
She would be, if you were to address her formally, she would be Warden Taladinar.
I don't speak Draconic?
Warden Taladinar. That's her name.
Oh,
her last
sorry.
name.
Sorry. Okay. So, she flies the airships around?
More keeps them safe, but yes.
Okay.
You also didn't seem too keen on the Scale Guard.
Well, they're usually known for their egos.
Do you think I have an ego?
For a minute there, yeah.
I think I used to. Growing up in the church will do that to you, though.
Well, I imagine it must have been nice. Ish. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of the church.
It was fine. Not much to, well, no one to write home to, but you know. It's...
You didn't know anybody before the church?
No.
Huh.
Is that not how it usually goes?
Normally, yeah, like you would, your family, you'd know them and maybe like some childhood friends. I'm not really sure. I never really tried to apply for it. I was mostly in orphanages and got thrown around a lot.
Oh, I didn't apply for the church. I was chosen.
Huh?
I was chosen. Called by Azuth to be at the church.
So you're telling me Dragon Mommy looked at you and said, that one, I want that one.
Liz points to her wings.
Off? Oh, right. I forget about those things half the time. Okay.
I don't know if I was dragged off, but that happened so early that I don't remember.
That would be concerning to most people.
Liz just shrugs.
Okay. Any particular reason you want to get a letter into the kiln that you didn't feel like sharing with everybody there?
Why do you think anybody wants to get a letter somewhere?
I mean, I don't know. Talk to
I
somebody.
would like somebody to read it.
And then, final question. How did you and Pinky know each other?
Pinky?
Neo say?
He's a magistrate. I worked with the magistrates occasionally when I was a squire.
How were you up that high in the ranks and then, like, fall? What did you do?
Once again, I followed my heart.
Oh, I'm slightly worried about where your heart led you, but alright. Guess I'm done being nosy.
What about you? What brings you out here?
Alcohol? Trade? I should say.
I was about to say there's plenty of alcohol in Near Earth. I remember.
I'm aware. But nothing interesting. So I'm coming out here to find something interesting.
If we ever get to talk to her, you should probably ask Della what some of the people of Earth like that they don't get often. I retrieved her from many an outing.
As you stated earlier?
Mm-hmm. Most of them, I was half dragging her back to her barracks.
I'm, also just trying to learn things too, honestly.
I'm still figuring out common. It's never come easy for me.
You do okay, I guess. I mean, I've heard better.
Probably haven't heard worse.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like everybody got so much more of a head start than I did.
Well, when did you start learning?
When I became a squire, around 10.
Normally, people start a little earlier than that.
Which, would Ruby know about Dragonborn maturity?
Given how she was moved around a lot, even with being within the more denser portions, especially down in southern Advalor, probably not. Maybe might have heard whispers of it, but nothing really concrete.
10 is when we're considered apprentice age.
That doesn't seem normal. 10?
Apprentice age, maturity-wise. Dragonborn don't exactly have the longest of.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
Apprentice age for a normal humanoid wouldn't be 15. It would be 12 to 15 years old.
Alright. Do you have more questions, I guess? Oh.
You talk to yourself a lot?
Oh, I'm not actually talking to myself?
Okay.
I'm talking to Skull.
Skull?
Yeah.
That is an interesting name.
Well, it's my nickname for
Okay.
him.
Okay.
But
Generally,
I've
one
known him for a
earns.
few years.
Okay. And he's just around?
Oh yeah, constantly. He likes to watch, so to speak. He views this whole affair as a kind of play, from what I've gathered.
You know, I may have said some things that you found concerning, but I find that
Why do you find that concerning? He's not going to harm you
don't-
in any way.
don't really enjoy being referred to as a play.
Well,
Or as someone's entertainment.
I mean, he's a god. There's not really much you can do to change that.
I guess that's fair.
Plus, he's nice. He helps us out, so.
That's good. He talks to you often?
Oh yeah, quite often.
That's nice. Liz sits down and makes sure the fire is still going. Kind of poking at the embers.
Zeus doesn't talk to you a bunch?
I think she might have.
Think doesn't give me much confidence in that
Well,
question.
there was a woman's voice calling me a coward, so...
Are you sure she likes you?
Liz shrugs.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that. Not knowing.
I don't know a lot of things in life. What's another thing that is left up to chance?
God damn it, Angel.
I literally saw it pop up as a notification.
I
It
don't
just
know
saw
what you're
nose
talking about.
dancing.
I haven't done anything. I haven't done anything wrong. Carry on.
Anyway.
But back into it, yeah.
I don't think we have much more, though, so...
All right, go ahead. Just give me 2 quick perceptions.
Yeah. Ruby might trail off away from Liz a bit and see if Skull wants to talk to her at all. Otherwise, that's about it.
Okay.
My metal die is being nice to me today.
Fucking finally.
I'm allowed 1 per session, it seems.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
A natural 25.
Nice.
Natural 25.
Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of process this conversation with Ruby, and it's kind of odd with her being such an open book. Everyone was fairly guarded, especially even in your youth. And just kind of prodding the fire, contemplating things, and you start to look over in her direction. Ruby, as you kind of move around the perimeter of the camp, you can see you see that dull green Ichorish light begin to kind of coalesce down into your brassiere. Before it kind of like trickles up your shoulder, you can feel a little bit of a heavier weight and without even having to like turn, you can sense that he's near. You know, I am one for theater, but it does kind of break the immersion if they're aware of it.
You have your fun and I have mine.
We are trying to be secret, especially around someone like her.
I mean, it doesn't really seem like her god likes her all too much, so...
And if her god doesn't like her, how do you think her god will feel if we're friends with her?
I mean, she might not even care.
Possibly, but I'm not supposed to be here. Just
Well,
tread carefully.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Give me a persuasion check as you try to reassure your patron.
Luck. Oh, it's so much better. Okay. First it was a 3. Now it's a 19. Thank you, Luck.
19. Okay. Okay.
Wait. Modifier.
Yep.
Persuasion.
Persuasion.
Persuasion is a 4, so 30, 23.
I certainly hope so. Just ixnay on the present day. And as you kind of turn, you kind of like, it's like, okay, you kind of turn, and you realize now that he's moved over your left shoulder closer to, on the side that's closer to the camp. And Liz, as you're contemplating all this, you see that Ruby's talking with what looks to be an ethereal, ghostly butterfly with a design on its wings that looks like a skull on each one, before it vanishes in a little bit of light.
Well, that would explain the nickname.
But with that, you both recognize that your watch is coming to an end.
I will pretend that I didn't see anything.
Next
Ruby
is...
acts like nothing happens, and she'll walk over to wake up whoever's next.
Yeah, Will and BB.
I've got Bird Buddy.
You've never seen her move that quickly to go to Bird Buddy.
Bird Buddy, I saw this creepy fucking butterfly.
Hang on. I sent you
Write it down in the book.
Oh my god.
Do I find Bird Buddy amongst the axe beaks?
That's up to BB.
No.
No? All right, I guess I'm looking for Bird Buddy.
I'm waiting to hear from Pringle to see exactly where I'm at.
Yep.
Iris is, however, with the axe beaks, though.
Ruby's gonna walk over to Will and pull a quill out of her boobs.
Tickle, tickle.
And she will lean over and just start tickling Will's nose, like the other side of it, with the feather on the quill.
BB, actually...
It's my turn already?
Yes.
Where's Bird Buddy?
Bird Buddy's saying something, so hang on, Will. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt him.
No, there's just...
Okay.
We were figuring out where you were, and then Ruby was like, oh, I'm going to go wait. Yeah, not a
I'm
big deal.
as close as you will allow, DM.
I would say, given the conversation and the curiosities around the the party, especially now, you probably would have parked the cart at least closer to Liz's tent. So you'd probably have your awning out to kind of work as a makeshift shelter, and you'd kind of be in your underslung hammock that kind of pulls out on poles. Yes, Bird Buddy has a day bed stashed under the cart now.
That's amazing.
That is
I love
great.
That idea.
Liz pokes around the axe beaks for a moment, tries not to wake Iris, because she's like looking under a wing. Like, is anybody here? It's probably Axe's wing, and she's about to get pecked for it.
Nope. The axe beaks are surprisingly calm. But as you're kind of looking through it, it's fairly straightforward that there is a makeshift shelter sticking out of the side of BB's cart now.
I give Axe up because I probably woke him up looking under his wing. I give Axe a pet, like, I'm sorry, didn't mean to wake you.
Don't peck me.
And then I go to Bird Buddy's little makeshift hammock.
Bird Buddy is awake.
You should be asleep, Villagivore. Well, I guess not anymore, but...
Sometimes no sleep.
I get that. I, for one, though, am ready to drop dead because I did not sleep last night. Liz will.
And as Liz is walking away, BB says, "I'm glad you followed your heart."
Liz will stop and turn and just walk back over to BB. Sometimes I wish I hadn't. Because then we would all still be in Airturth. And Stonegate.
BB just hugs. They get up slowly and hug Liz, and then saunter over the fire. Wait for Will.
Liz will go to sleep, and she just... I don't think she has good dreams.
Nope.
Nope.
Just
Liz
a
talked
flat
a
nope.
lot. Liz talked a lot today. She's not gonna have good dreams.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waking Will up via feather.
Will. Does Will sneeze? I'll say he sneezed. Will ended up sneezing. Is it time to wake up?
Yes, it's your turn, soldier boy. Have fun.
Yeah, good night.
And Ruby fucks off to go to bed.
He then sits up and approaches the fire, the logs where they had the fire set up, and just sits down right next to Bird Buddy.
DM.
Yeah.
Did you get the earlier message that I sent you about what BB was going to be doing tonight?
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay. Well, they're going to grab ash from the fire. Like, as Will's coming up, they're going to grab ash from the fire and smother it over their hand and do that.
Okay. And you're just doing this out in the open with Will?
They're purposely not completing it, but
Okay.
They
Okay.
think about it.
All right. So
And it's
as
obvious
you,
that they were about to cast a spell.
yeah. As Will, as you approach, you see BB's grab some of the ash, and they're kind of like tentatively holding the white quill, the white feathered quill that you guys are familiar with BB having. Just
Okay.
kind of curiously looking at her palm with the pile of ash kind of mixed into the feathers. Definitely something odd and probably creepy. But definitely magical.
If you're trying to do something, I could step back to let you finish it.
We could just pats the log next to them. Or the space next to them on the log.
Will sits down. So,
Will
bird
has-
buddy. Sorry.
Just a quick question to you. Will has not done what Liz and Six and Iris have done, correct?
In terms
Put blood on
of,
the book.
Yes.
they have not, no.
Are you wanting him to do that to bird buddy?
Go ahead. It depends on what Will talks about.
Oh, Will was just going to ask bird buddy if there's anything they would like to talk about.
Sure. Well, yeah, that would be a reason to pull out the book.
Okay.
And they're gonna pull it out right around last time they saw the page where the human person came up in there.
Okay.
And Phoebe's gonna hand Bill the feather. Say, right.
I will need ink to write. Do you need me to prick my finger for...
Your baby basically turns over his palm and nods.
Use my blood as ink. Got it. He then pierces his right palm with the quill. And then he says, oh, he asks, is there anything specific I'm supposed to write? Or just about anything?
Baby just either.
Huh?
Either.
Okay. We'll just
What do you
write...
write?
We'll
Will?
just... He writes his name. Because honestly, he doesn't know what he's supposed to write, so... Especially in a book that's supposedly magic, he just writes his name in his blood with a quill.
His
Okay.
full real name, or does it matter?
Yeah, he
That
put his
would
full name.
full name. Okay.
Thoric Wilhelm. Right on the book.
All right. So, let me pull up something real quick. Where is it? Find Will's name. There it is. So as you write your name, Will, you watch as your blood sets in, and BB kind of gets a little bit closer. And after where you eyeballed it, Will, you're kind of taken aback as you move the quill back and the pages shift forward a couple. And for the first time, BB, you see necro runes begin to appear that you can now read as Tale of the Renowned Duelist. and it talks of a humble blacksmith apprentice who volunteered for an army at roughly the age of 20, 25. Started off as a blacksmith, did really well, became really adept with a sword before just leaving. Stopped his service, and as the pages fill, Will, you recognize small fragments of your father's story, where he was a volunteer for the first wave of the Thieving Legion before he settled down after a mission and got married and had a child. And that's exactly where your name starts to pop up. And then it speaks of a surprise for the younger child, for the first child, before the story ends in blood. No
It's
pictures, just the story.
I can't understand all this, but I know it's talking about my dad.
BB is kind of quiet. Sorry, I have a teenager bugging me.
It's okay.
You good?
Maybe could read this entire thing, correct?
Uh-huh. As if it was in common.
Okay. But Will could as well?
Huh?
Or did Will just the name appear in common as?
Yeah, Will's name would have appeared in common. And because of Will's blood being into the ink, he was able to glean that this is definitely his father's story before it continues into his.
Maybe. So it says your family?
My family. Yeah.
Did it mention at all his Will's mother?
Will's mother?
Yes.
Yeah, in the story it mentioned that Will's mother was the reason he resigned out of the Legion to become a blacksmith. Had he not, Will's father probably had the skill to be a high brass, if not general.
What was it like to have a mother?
My mother was nice. One of the best for me. My dad did want me to be his apprentice when I got older and eventually his successor, but my mother at least wanted me to be smart. I am not adept at magic like she was. we did read together a bunch whenever she had time alone and wanted me to be with her.
I mean, did the book say what happened to Will's dad? Before it just switched to Will? Other than what happened before?
It doesn't get into too many details other than his father died one fateful night, and then it immediately jumps into Will's story about 8 years old.
Okay. How old when they die? Will.
How old were they when they died?
Yeah,
Well-
yeah, that's what they asked.
Well, if I remember
I meant to
correctly.
ask what happened, sorry.
Oh, what happened?
My bad, sorry.
It's okay. So, what happened what happened that night, or what happened that led them to die?
Both.
Well, my village got attacked. An explosion occurred outside my house. My mother died on impact. My dad... with a heartbroken tone, he explains how his dad had died and how the scar on his cheek was a result of him essentially exploding, and a shrapnel of his bone had scratched him on the cheek. And, well, the Legion came in. He was taken in by Octavia. And when the Legion came back to recover the dead to bury them, no bodies were to be found, not even theirs. And that is why he wants to know what happened. That is why he wants to know what the ritual was. And why he is trying to solve these runes. And, thinking back to what Six said, if he were to find the culprit, yeah, he will bring them to justice. And if they are dead, then okay. Karma got to them. At least they no longer had to hurt anyone else.
Maybe. Puts a hand on the one that Will pricked.
His right hand.
And they're going to go ahead and use their hold on.
If there's anything to kind of like heal his finger,
Just heal.
it wasn't enough to really deduct a hit point. So
No, but maybe he's gonna do it anyway.
It wasn't on his finger, it was on his palm.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll say I'll help you write the epilogue.
He sighs and thanks them.
And then BB takes their hand with the ashes and then just smears across the book.
Are you doing the spell that we talked about?
No. But
No?
it does have BB's its blood and ash.
Okay. So as you smear across the blank page that's partially filled before it gets to the first time that it mentions Will's name, you smear a little bit of the blood and a bit of the ash.
Oh no, it's all over the page.
Yeah. As you kind of smear the rest of Will's blood with the ash and into your palm, almost knowing the pain of a child who's lost their parents. The two of you watch as the blood begins to shift again from the words into one image of a man older than Will, probably mid-30s, holding an infant, kind of gently petting its head as if a father is consoling their son. And then the image fades. And all the text goes with it.
You kind of hear a grinding noise from BB.
You okay, bird buddy?
They kind of like slam the book shut. You had good dad.
What'd you say?
You had good dad.
Yeah. You know, before my mother even had me, he was hoping to name me after him, but she ended up winning out. She wanted to name at least one of her kids after a close friend of hers, and he relented so long as he got to name the next one after himself. What if it was a girl, my mother had asked? Erica, then. Regardless, he or she will be named after me.
BB hugs Will.
And with that, I will need perception checks from the two of you. Or if you choose passive,
Okay.
you can go passive.
Roll that. Perception. I was right about it before.
BB
Plus,
is angry, remember? So, and I'm just going to take a roll.
Okay.
Unless you wanted to do it at disadvantage.
natural 24, boss.
Natural 24, okay.
Perception 18 total.
18 total. Through the remainder of your guys' watch, It's now in the midst of the deadest part of night. Very few animals are making noise from the woods. It's an odd calm. And BB, even if you don't quite see it, you do feel the presence of that raven somewhere in the darkness, with a similar feeling of anger. They didn't like how Will's parents went. And with that, we'll get into the third watch. So you guys can go ahead and wake up Styx and Iris.
So I think I will leave waking up Styx to you. She trusts you more, bird buddy.
Again, I'll let you go first.
Will ends up approaching Iris and, he greets Axe if Axe is still awake. And, just approach Iris and gently shakes her on the shoulder. Iris. Iris.
Morning.
Yeah. It's your turn.
She kind of looks right up in his face. It's like, was that a rough night?
It's a normal Wednesday, honestly. Even though I think it's Sunday. But you get what I mean.
She kind of nods. All right. Get some rest. I'll try to work on breakfast.
If I end up having a psychotic break in my sleep, I give you full consent to use hold person on me.
She kind of looks surprised at first, but then smiles. At least it won't be as bad as having to beat you down like 6.
Just be happy that she didn't target you like she targeted me.
To be fair, what I saw, probably I still wouldn't have given her any grief for it. But go rest.
Take care. And he pats her on the shoulder before going back to his bedroll. I mean, it's evident now that he's become very comfortable around Iris at this point. At least enough to start joking around her.
Iris will go set everything up for breakfast.
Okay.
And Phoebe will howl on over to 6. And they're just going to kind of sit next to 6 and annoy her. We're gonna use prestidigitation all the ways possible until she wakes up.
And she almost kind of like slap away the drool on her face.
Phoebe, okay, how much drool are we talking?
Like it's like a visible glistening trail, and like the corners of it are encrusted. Like she's been getting that good
That's
sleep.
the ground.
It's on her pillow, but yeah.
Phoebe touches the pillow with a little bit of a shocking grasp.
Oh god.
No, such a mean way to
Just
wake
a
somebody
tiny
up.
bit. Just a tiny bit.
That is so
okay.
rude.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, you are 6. You are awoken to the sensation of your drool wiping itself clean, and then what could be the equated to one of those little shocking buzzers, like the little prank buzzers that you put on your hand, but much enough dialed down enough to at least wake you, but not jolt you.
Is it enough to startle?
No. But it's definitely annoying. Bird Buddy's being absolute bird buddy.
Yeah, little
Time to break
fit.
chains. Wake up. They laugh at that. Hey, time to break chains. Wake up.
I didn't catch any of that, but I'll get some coffee. She cannot feel her tongue. So,
Well,
yeah.
there goes conversation.
So, she's just gonna get up and toss on a shirt and nothing else. Just undies, bare feet, shirt. That's it. I'm just gonna pause. Like, hey, I have some questions so that I can feel my tongue. And I'm gonna get you back for that.
Baby does a thumbs up.
Fuck off, you pigeon. And she'll just like go towards the coffee pot, scratching her belly, just yawning. Her hair is an absolute fucking mess. And she probably hasn't reapplied her eyeliner in the past several days. So, yeah, that'll be a thing. Once she's got her coffee, she'll go grab, like kind of her crossword out of her knapsack. Not that she's training intelligence, she'll actually be just doing that while actually training her wisdom and doing some self-inflection.
Okay.
More, she's training her wisdom, looking back on her, like, life, while enjoying coffee and a crossword.
All right. I will need a wisdom check from you. And a survival check from Iris.
All right. As Iris is doing, she's just humming like a tune from her past. She's chopping up the food and getting everything going. Oh, that is a natural 20.
Nice.
Nice, third one tonight. Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
For natural 24.
Okay. Okay, and 6.
That is a 23. 19 plus 4.
Oh.
Nice. Go ahead. And since you're training your wisdom, go ahead and mark another 1 towards your next improvement. Unfortunately, you are able to remember that the band associated with Malil from the last time you did your crossword puzzle is the 7th circle. And the next one that kind of snags you is the name of the mountain where the most dwarves nest. You think about it, and you might be Gem Run, Fractured Peaks, but Gem Run's too short. Fractured Peaks is too long. It kind of snags you, since you kind of focused on what you know from prior to coming to Rudania. Iris, as you're whistling your tune and you're cooking, you kind of think back. You think back to all the meals your mom had made for you, and while you don't have the eccentric, wild foods of Torshavn meals, you get something really close to home in terms of taste. And you realize that the gnawing sensation has been steady for a couple days now, and it's begun to increase again. And you think on Will and the fights and hearing your father's voice. You know he passed away when you were a child. You watched the casket being lowered. And that same question repeats, or that same statement repeats. There's no reason to be afraid. I've regretted it since. And then you hear your father's voice. Maybe you can undo it. And the scent of the food brings you back, and it's perfect. And you pull it off the fire.
Why so great a sigh, Your Highness?
Sorry, just something. I keep hearing my father, though he died a while ago. I don't know if it's this thing in my head that's messing with me or just him teasing me from beyond.
Yeah, mine does the same thing. Usually when I block a fist with my face. And like you can see, like she is mostly like her mind is like mentally on the book. And so she's like sort of stream of consciousness. Like she is there listening, but she's not quite there either. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Still, it's nice to cook for people again.
Yeah, you
It's
actually
been a
do a
while.
decent job. Last night was pretty good.
Not as exotic as some of my stuff my mother would make, but at least not foraging anymore.
The mountain where dwarves nest. 12 across.
Do I know?
Give me a history check.
Alright. Oh. Sorry, I dropped my metal dice.
It happens.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to pull the couch apart to look for it.
Yeah. It's alright, you can grab that.
Alright, history, that would be a 18.
18.
Yeah.
As you kind of think back of travelers that passed through from Bark's Rest from north to south, the one or two times you've maybe gotten a little bit closer to Oriakester, you can't quite remember the full name. You do remember the first half of it being Morden. Morden.
More than something? Mordin?
Did Does that spark anything at all?
Give me another history check on your side. I would
I
say add advantage.
Okay. I'm still not great at those, but we'll see. I have no idea. So I'm just gonna put the first few letters in. I'll come back to it later.
Okay.
All right.
So you hear your dad teasing you in your head. You're not sure if it's long blank. You're not sure if it's like the thing that you've got going on. Are you talking about like your magic or whatever? Like I don't exactly understand that, but
Yes. The monsters attached a device into my head, and sometimes I swear I can feel something wiggling or gnawing on it or moving in there.
okay. So first off, that sounds like a fucking nightmare. Secondly, are you sure?
Oh, it is.
Are you sure it's not just like memories or like your inner voice, just using this image? Like, I mean, I hear my dad picking on me all the time, but it's mostly just stuff when he was teaching me how to take a hit. Like,
It's been a while since he's dead, so I might be remembering things I forgot.
it's
But the sensations?
the mind is a fucking weird thing. You already know that much, but I don't know. Maybe it's past experience that's just trying to teach you something, right? I mean,
Yeah, my mother drilled a lot of experience into me. That makes sense.
just it's kind of a razor if you think about it. Let's see, what was the one that I remember? Attribute not to malice what can be adequately explained by incompetence. It doesn't exactly fit here, but maybe it has nothing to do with whatever is going on in your head. Maybe it's just something much more benign than that. I wouldn't jump to the worst conclusion possible right away, you know what I mean?
Well, history with the monsters. It's kind of hard for me not to draw the line there. We're connecting the two.
But that's the second time that you've used that word in the single conversation. And you've also called yourself a monster. You know you're not, right?
She lowers her hand from when she was rubbing her forehead and looks right at Six and it's like, I'm the daughter of a were-tiger who has abilities that influence people's minds. If I met myself as a little child, I would have thought I was one.
Let me ask you this. Do you believe that you're a monster because you can turn into a tiger? Do you think you're a monster just because you have the capability of influencing someone's mind? Whether or not you have, totally different question, but if that's the only reason, then that makes me a monster. That makes Will a monster. That makes Liz that makes all of us a monster. I have murdered men. I have taken lives that frankly didn't need to be taken. You're not a monster. Just making the best of a bad situation, same as the rest of us. The people that we're going for, those are monsters. Solin is a fucking monster. He killed kids. Not even I've done that.
Was that who you thought I was?
Yeah. You were wearing his face.
He looked like he needed. He did look like he deserved to be punched.
He's got a very punchable face.
That's why if you did hit me, from what I saw, I wouldn't have blamed you.
Had I got to you before Liz knocked me out, you'd be dead. So count your lucky stars that I didn't. But that's not what we're talking about right now. Look, you may be able to turn into some beast or whatever. That doesn't make you a monster. The state of being isn't what makes you a monster. Deeds makes you a monster. And I didn't know you until, a few weeks ago, but you have never shown me what a monster is. So I can only jump to the conclusion that you aren't a monster. You're just some kid that got stuck with a bad situation.
I guess in some way that's the same way with you.
Yeah, in a way. I mean, I've done some pretty terrible things, don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't see myself as a monster, but I definitely have become the monster that people saw me as. That doesn't mean I am.
I agree with that. And I also agree with Liz. The voices were wrong. It's not your fault.
I had no idea that you were even in there at that point.
It's not so much that I was, it's that it was loud enough to be overheard.
Yeah, I've got
I
some
was right
issues.
next to you.
Yeah, I got
I'm
a lot
surprised
going
I didn't
on.
hear anymore.
Just, look. Don't beat yourself up over something so small, alright? Leave the beating up to me.
Could I ask another question?
Yeah, what's up, kiddo?
What was it like to be under it? The glimmer. I just want to know so I don't. If I don't be curious.
It felt... It's hard to describe. Everything, like, visually, like, lights were brighter. There were so many colors. I mean, it was beautiful to see, but that frame of mind, that feeling of being kind of floaty, disconnected from everything. I feel like I could have done anything, but I wouldn't have been in control of it. Like, yeah, I felt like I could run for miles and miles without stopping. But at the same time, that state of mind, say you had taken a ration out of my bag without my knowing and I found out, what would I have done when I'm out of control? The what if is the scariest part when you're not in control anymore.
My mother used to say it would re-unlocking a beast, and it sounds to me like your beast would be completely untethered.
You've already seen what that looks like. And no, the colors, the what if, that's all one thing. It's the terrifying part of it was the voices, honestly. Just what that stuff does to your head, At least what it did to mine. I had no idea how to confront any of that yet. Still kind of working through it on my own.
Do you feel like you're going to be okay, though?
Yeah. Body's still a little sore. Dreams are a little all out of whack, but I think I'll be fine.
Good. You know, no one ever jumped in front of danger for me before.
Yeah, I'm kind of reckless.
No, I didn't mean it like that.
I know.
But it used to be only my mother who would do that when she was here. So I want to do what I can to help you. Help everyone here. And I don't know what's going on with everything in my head and these powers. If it helps you guys out, then maybe if I have to be a monster, then I could be a monster, like you said, against the bad people.
Deeds. Deeds, not being. You can be your big scary tiger. But it's what you do with that. That's what makes you who you are.
She looks down at her hands and, not just the tiger anymore. But you have a point. Or at least giving me a lot to think about.
You're gonna be alright.
Anyway, you should... So are you. Anyway, you should probably eat. Should we probably get everyone else up?
Let's see. I'm gonna kind of see how high the sun's getting yet.
Yeah, at this point, the sun is now beginning to has already begun to rise. I'm not going to have you guys get too much into role play for breakfast, but it is a very hearty, neutral zone with a small dash, but not as intense, Torshaven meal. How are we working on time? Ooh,
Sorry.
No, you're good. We are going to forego a random event roll. I'll allow you guys each to either train some skills passively while riding. BB, if you want to do your ritual, you could go ahead and roll that. And we will hop, skip, and jump slightly.
Can I
Okay. Sorry.
see about training wisdom while doing the card?
Yeah, whatever you guys are training, just put what the number, and then what the number you roll, and then whatever you guys get for that you're training.
I did want to, I'm still, a riding lady, but I'm gonna hang back by the cart. I did want to, talk to BB.
Okay. Yeah, you could do. We'll have to be a bit brief because I do want to get us into Rembark's rest
Yeah, no worries.
and start investigating.
John,
Sorry.
gonna laugh. All right, go ahead. I'll message him.
Oh boy.
I was wondering if I could once again practice more of my insight.
Yep. Just roll what your after you find your number, just post it and then what you're training. So, if you get a 23 towards insight, just put 23 insight.
Okay.
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
What in the hell?
It was simultaneously.
You have a fucking knack for that. That's impressive.
Let me...
we'll go back to that. But yeah, go ahead and post your numbers and what you're training. But BB and Six, go ahead and do your thing real quick.
Hey, buddy.
Everybody is currently like studying people roll, and they see Six and kind of like wave enthusiastically.
So, all the, like, dead things in the cart, how you behaved in the cemetery at that farm, are you, like, a death connoisseur sort of deal? Like, is this... How does that work?
BB kind of shrugs their shoulders, and I choose death.
Do you choose stuff?
Everything has a story.
So is it... So is that what that book is? It's like a storybook? Like... I kind of want to understand. Can you talk to dead people with the book?
He doesn't say anything.
Has...
They're actively like they're completing the morning thing as Six is there.
Because I thought if you can we use it later?
But BB is like they just nod. Yeah.
Okay, good. Thanks. I've also kind of noticed something. We've been calling you Bird Buddy for the past several weeks, and you haven't corrected us. And we've just been repeating what... Oh, Christ.
Sarah?
That one, yes. The one with the green hair. I've just been repeating what she's called you, but what is your actual name?
Bell knows.
I as a player didn't catch
And they
that.
point and they point they say Bell knows and then nods to Liz.
Bell knows. Bell? Hey, Red?
Yes.
Bell knows? Who's Bell?
That would be me.
Okay, that's a different question for another time.
Bell was said with a very strong Torjadan accent.
Do you know the bird's name?
I do.
Calling them buddy is gonna get old after a while. I mean, what's their name?
Villagivore, which name do you want me to tell?
Does it matter?
Up to you.
Long or short?
Long or short?
No, long or
have-
short.
I think
Oh,
This is
actually,
a lot
really,
of work.
I got
yeah,
it.
you only know what you
I
only know
the
part of it.
full- I know the full name. Well, like the full first name.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Valid. You see Liz like
Oh my
she
God,
she
this
goes
is
to say it a
torture.
couple times.
Do you,
We're gonna
you have
we're
it in
gonna
your
give
mind?
we're gonna give Liz a stutter in common.
Do you have it in your mind right now?
Yes.
Cast detect thoughts.
What's the bird's name?
just to get it.
It's in her mind. You see it's more that you see the physical word because Liz still can't pronounce it in her brain.
Valediction.
Verdition. Ver.
Valediction.
Valedition.
And trust me, Iris, it's no use.
Valediction.
And she still calls me Vixie.
It's because
Well,
Vicky
I
is
think
not
Vixie's
nice.
cute.
Ruby is dying of laughter as she's walking near the, like, not directly near the cart, but like she's within eye range and she is fucking cackling.
Liz mutters to herself when Six says she still calls me Vixie, and she goes, "That's because Vicky is not nice."
I'm not nice either. It kind of works, right?
You're not I would not call you the thief of nothing, or a useless thief.
But let me ask you this: what have I stolen?
Exactly why I'm not calling you that.
Failed points
Vixie.
to Six's pocket.
Wait, did you steal something?
Not that you can prove.
You guys notice that this is actually pulling Liz out of her that was started in the morning?
Yeah. I will say that while the girls and Bird Buddy are just laughing, or sorry, valediction now, Will is just keeping an eye on things up ahead.
Okay.
Bird Buddy will never escape Bird Buddy. Bird Buddy is forever Bird Buddy.
Yeah, no.
Relation
Vale will
war.
always be Bird Buddy, but at least now we've got Vale's name out there.
Yeah.
Well,
All
no
right.
one questions Liz knows Vale's name.
But with that, as you guys are contemplating the fact that Bird Buddy actually has a name, and Liz struggles with it. Well, you are the first to notice, as you are all rapidly approaching a somewhat steep incline, run-down walls of thick wood, reinforced at the base with stone. They're heavily dilapidated. The the wooden portcullis is actually fallen off the ropes and fallen into the path as you all begin to approach Rimbark's Rest.
Oh.
And I will move you, and I just moved you guys over. So you guys are down there. And as you guys pass through the portcullis and kind of bring everything to a stop at that first intersection, you see that the once barren farmlands to the west are now heavily overgrown. It hasn't been kept. Some of the crops might be salvageable, even at a passing glance. Further up the road, you can see a lot of the vegetation has grown over all the buildings. And Iris, you remember this was roughly the state of Rimbark's Rest when you came out. As the sun is beginning to set in the west, it's much darker than you remember, with dilapidated, busted down carts, some that were salvaged over the course of a handful of years from when the city was first, from when the village was first abandoned. And all of you immediately, just to the northeast, past some of these buildings, can see glowing lights, heavily lit, scattered amongst the pathways. And just to the east, in that first intersection, you can see what looks to be a rather tattered leather tarp that's been made into a makeshift tent, and what looks to be a couple small humanoid figures idly chit-chatting. You can't quite make out the language. Next to a campfire.
Will looks back and makes a gesture before tapping at his head while looking to Iris.
Immediately connects.
Octavia did say that there are wild goblins around the area. We might have stumbled upon one of the camps.
It's so hard to see it like this, but you're right. We should, and this is more now out loud, we should find some place to hide and set up camp for the moment.
He then thinks you should let the others know.
Yeah, I said that last part out loud.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were all thinking of this so that they wouldn't hear.
Yeah. As he says it quietly to the group, it's like, there's goblins. We should probably hide for a second.
So what are you guys doing with the cart and the animals?
It's just goblins? I mean, shit, I can take them on.
The entire city could be full of them.
Yeah, and I've got the remedy right here and right here. And she'll kiss a fist.
I applaud your confidence, I truly do. But frankly, none of us can revive your ass. So let's not test it.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
We should at least take a spot somewhere to be safe. I'm sure the farmhouse, that might be someplace. It might be open or something. We can hide the cart there.
All right. It's your home. You're on lead on this one. Take us somewhere.
She hops down from the cart and kind of slowly leads the group towards the farm area around here, at least to try and find a proper place to keep the cart and us safe.
Ping it again real quick.
Right, the farm area
Gotcha.
here. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, I see it.
Before we go in, that spell, John.
You got it. Okay. So, as you all kind of hunker close, the sun is now maybe an hour and a half from completely setting. And you all kind of hunker close to Ruby. She kind of wave you all down, and it's a quick incantation. You can see those familiar, thin, ethereal, like webbing reaches out to each of you. You all get a +10 to stealth.
Nice.
And Iris, if you're leading, I would need investigation. It's been a while, so you won't quite get advantage unless someone wants to help you.
Who wants to help the king?
I'm busy
Ken?
driving the cart with Bird Buddy.
Oh, hang on. What are we doing?
Stashing the animals in the cart.
Oh.
Helping Iris look for help. Okay. All right, Iris. Investigation at advantage.
Advantage.
All right, then that's 18. Sorry.
18. Okay. Let me roll a couple. Alright, so everybody go ahead and give me stealth checks while I go ahead and roll some dice.
I mean, do we
Okay.
really need to be sneaky?
Yes.
All right,
6 we
plus
do.
plus 10, so
Plus, oh yeah.
I almost don't need the plus 10.
you
Do it.
finally got
Oh?
enough money.
I rolled a 19.
Hey,
I'm pretty consistent with those 19s though.
Makes
yeah.
it a 29.
It does because I have a 0 to dex.
So I rolled a natural 20 plus
Oh,
the
damn.
10 and my and it's an additional 6.
36, okay.
Okay.
29.
I have a gift for
It's a
this.
night.
30, 26. 6, what's yours?
34.
34. Very nice.
yes.
Seeing the heavy glow from the northeast and what looks to be a small little scouting band a little bit down, you guys start making your way up that central road. And this is where some of the memories begin to come back. Iris, running through these streets, the smell of fresh farmland getting tilled and ready for the season's harvest. Some of the smells of Tambelli Bakery lingering amongst the city kind of flood back into your head. But as you guys start following Iris' lead north, you can see much further past it, there's what looks to be a roaming patrol of about 10 goblins. And you guys cut right past that first set of farmland, heavily dilapidated building. Most of the gate has fallen off the rusting iron. And as you kind of make your way back to stables, the smell is almost immediate. That probably sometime in the last year, one of these last farm animals had unfortunately had prolonged its life by feeding on the other pigs. But the stables are now virtually empty with a small smattering of a couple bones here and there. And almost immediately, and Bird Buddy, you catch on this first, there's a feeling of protection, even amongst the debris of death and overgrowth. Bird Buddy, you see that a sentinel, the sentinel has appeared and is perched in the rafters, offering its service.
Our buddy immediately says friend. Or thank you, friend.
And you all hear a raven squawk sitting up in the rafters.
Well, that's ominous.
Oh, creepy as birds. Just everywhere. Oh my god.
Will is honestly no longer bothered by this. I mean, hey, if Valediction is friends with who he assumed was a goddess, he's not weirded out by the fact that they're friends with a smart raven. Who might be yet another courier of that goddess that they're friends with.
Yeah, goddess, whatever. What's for dinner? And don't say the pig, because that's just nasty.
Oh. I know
Yeah,
the
there's
O'Reillys
no-
would probably hate this place being in this condition.
We should probably not make a fire. We have rations for a reason.
Yeah, yes.
Let's avoid a fight if we can.
At least for now.
Said no one ever.
I just did.
Uh,
I guess that makes us nobodies.
As far as these fuckers are concerned, yeah, I guess so. Like, I'm just pulling out beef jerky.
As you are all settling down, the raven that's been perched up in the rafters about just after sunset starts getting a little bit antsy and starts looking a little bit more directly east, if not still a little bit northeast. Iris, I need an intelligence save.
All right.
Just before we do that, I would notice that the raven's agitated, correct?
It's happening simultaneously.
That would be a 15.
15. It's as you're chowing into your food that the gnawing sensation begins to intensify. And while it's uncomfortable, it's almost looking to be put at peace. And as the rest of you are amongst idle conversation, you see Iris heading towards the door, heading northeast at a very quick pace.
Iris?
Pass Without a Trace is still active.
Okay.
So I need another set of stealth checks as Iris starts running through the village.
And I guess we're following along.
For the sake of the gods, Iris! Health
That's a 20.
20.
plus
Okay.
8.
Are we all rolling?
Yep. All of you are rolling unless you're going to let Iris run off on her own.
Oh.
That's
What?
another 34.
I also got 34.
29 dirty. Or no.
Oh yeah,
28.
Yeah.
still got the 10. Okay, I got a total of 36. Oh no, excuse me. 36.
36. There's no bird buddy anymore. Somebody ate all the fried chicken.
But as you all begin to pursue Iris, she's a little bit more fleet of foot. Nothing too noticeable, but as you guys are making your way deeper into the heart of the village, you see her stop, look, move. And as you're trying to catch up with her, it's not until about you get to here, heading northeast, that the gnawing sensation begins to calm down, Iris. And you hear your father's voice. And it begins to calm. And something in this area has been drawing you in. As the rest of the party joins up with you, you're now in the heart of the city, of the village. Directly south of you guys, you can see easily 70, 80, 90, over 100 goblins, all in different states of being on watch and relaxing. You can see built in the center around, or directly south of the well, seems to be some kind of heavy mass of mud that's a little bit more elongated if something was laying down. But amongst all of this, you hear a gentle whisper, Iris. head back to where we had our meals. And you remember that as your father's voice speaking of wanting to give, in reference to wanting to give your mother one night's relaxation from responsibility, and you guys would head to the tavern whenever she'd come back from hunts.
The tavern? And she kind of looks back at the group for a second and then just kind of goes for the tavern.
Okay.
Well, fellows,
No, third person.
Following.
It's pretty obvious that she's kind of being pushed to go. Like she's gonna go a roundabout way just to try to. She's aware that there's enemies, so she's trying to, be as stealthy as she can.
Follow the cat.
well knows we
All
have
right.
to stay close. And hey, chances are she might need to back up if things go south.
All right, everybody give me investigation checks to determine the pathing that the the goblin sentries, if you will.
Ooh, I rolled high. Plus investigation.
Investigation.
19.
Dirty 25.
19. Okay.
28. Unnatural.
Okay.
We are getting really lucky with these rolls, and I don't like that.
Here, let me fix that.
Oh,
Liz.
I've rolled actually a few really low ones tonight. It's just the modifiers tend to be high on some of them, like investigation.
Liz, you need to take luck. You need to.
I had
That
a
is
lot
a-
of stuff. I had a lot of stuff happen when I stopped being a cop. I'm sorry.
You need a little luck on your side. Take the goddamn feet.
I have other things I need.
Oh.
Okay. So as you guys kind of hunker right about here, looking directly to the east across the street, you can see a rundown tavern. Most of the second floor has been stripped away through corrosion. A lot of it's been exposed. You can still see that there's a bit of a kind of a balcony that so it would house maybe 10 or so travelers. The windows have completely been blown out. Doors kicking off to one side. And as you guys are beginning to get antsy, especially you, Iris, you guys begin to look and you can hear what sounds like music being drummed on, padded onto a rawhide drum, as the goblins seem to be in some kind of celebratory festival.
So
And as you kind of look south, you all wait, and then immediately one by one begin to move. And it's considering this is a group check, you are spared, Liz, as you stumble coming out of the alley to start across the street before you run across, and the rest of the party pulls you in.
It makes sense that the biggest one would be the one that nearly gets us caught.
BB has to. They will carry Liz like they will walk like a dog. Carry Liz. Be quiet.
right.
This is like an ant carrying
Ow.
a piece of flying fruit.
But you hear common kind of not common goblin speak being sung a little bit like Ewok, but there is like what could be discerned as syllables of basu, play, and just drumming in as what looks to be a shaman is now standing on the mound but giving it respect.
Hold on, let me get some tribal
But
music here going.
hmm
Done.
I have no idea what this will sound like.
Does this appear to be any sort of ceremony that you would be familiar with?
Go ahead and give me a religion check.
Nope, definitely not this. Come on, browser, do the thing. Random pick. I think I'm gonna go with this one.
Religion's not my best. It's only 14.
14.
Can I give it a try? What Burberry's doing?
If you want to, I would say disadvantage because you haven't had much exposure to goblin.
Oh, yeah. Those are both good. Hang on, I will find it. How does a 16 sound?
16. Yeah, unfortunately not. While it definitely seems to be a song of praise and thanks to whatever this mound of mud is supposed to be depicting, they are definitely for the most part, engrossed in it. There's the occasional patrol that stops, lingers for a moment, and keeps going. They seem to be in some kind of a revelry for the shelter of the city.
So one more time for my sake, because you know how I play a 6. And what does this mud thing look like?
If you want to give me an investigation check, go for it.
Okay. One sec.
Because at this point, you guys are huddled near the tavern,
17.
waiting for an opportunity to get inside. Okay, 17. It definitely seems to be humanoid. And with that investigation, it looks to be what would be the head, where this faux hair is very old, dried out, long strands of grain to emulate hair. But it seems to be painted red, possibly with blood.
Right, so how are we committing a genocide today?
6. I don't really feel like being dogpiled by goblins.
I'm sorry, oh what?
What?
She wants to fight the goblins. Oh,
Like, we've got to get him out of here, right? Like, wasn't that what we were sent to do? Like, what are we doing here?
I want to die in the process of it.
It was suggested by Ravenstar that you guys avoid the goblins if possible, and to investigate the city. You've already gotten what you can tell is north of where most of them are hunkered down, but Iris is being drawn to the tavern. And her gnawing is calming, but it's still present.
Drop.
Right, so I guess we're not killing the hundreds of goblins here.
thousands, and yes, we're not.
Thousands. That's a lot of goblins.
Mm-hmm.
Iris, what made you want to come here?
My head. My father telling me, come here. Something's making me come here. Sorry.
Hey, look, listen, Harris. Look at me. Trust me, I get it. The things in your head, I get it. Believe me, I do. But we're gonna need you to focus here. This is new land for the vast majority of us. So, keep a grip on it a little bit longer. And then, who knows how the day will turn out. Maybe we'll get to kill a few of them. But for right now, stick to the plan.
We need to find the cave.
What's the plan again?
We need to find the cave.
Iris, wisdom save.
Could that give advantage because I'm trying to help?
Yep, add advantage.
Jim, how long is this taking?
Here it's been between getting from the farm to here. It's been about a half hour.
Okay, just this moment while we're all talking to Iris in this huddle. How long is this huddle?
At this point, just because you guys it's only been maybe a handful of seconds since you guys have gotten to the tavern. But let's get back on track. Wisdom save at advantage.
Advantage was helpful, but what was the low one was a 3 and the other one was a 16.
Okay. As you hear Styx trying to put you at ease, have you focus, putting her at ease in your own way, you notice that the gnawing has calmed, and it's right on the cusp of dissipating. And you can clearly tell, at least from this point, whatever's drawing you here will relieve you of that gnawing if you head inside and look around into the tavern.
Oh, aren't we already in the tavern?
You're just outside against the wall, kind of peering around from the north side in a small alley, if you will. I'd say you guys are about here-ish, peering around every so often. But there is definitely patrols about.
Ping it again because it didn't draw us there. And I'm laggy because I got 2 browsers open. Thank you.
Iris is going to look at the group and whatever's drawing me away from our site, telling me to go inside the tavern, and I don't think we want to be outside at the moment.
So we're going in. Got it.
Okay. Is there a door that's, a back door that we can use?
Go ahead and give me an investigation check, Iris.
All right.
At advantage because now kind of getting back in your element of being in your village. Your memories are coming back a bit clearer.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Simple enough. You head around a little bit east, tucking to the back area where the carts would park to bring grain and whatnot. Hold on. What does that do, Bird Buddy?
It takes a while to. If we had, it's a ritual. However, if I want to know if I can move and cast it at the same time while this is going on.
Send me the flavor.
Okay, I will.
Do you want me to go inside first? That way, if there's a threat, I've got a better chance to dodge it than you do.
Okay.
I got you. Just stay focused, all right?
I'm working on it.
Okay, so based on that, you would need the blood in question. But
I would be actively reaching out to. With no explanation, I understand the party would not be.
Yeah. Given the hecticness, you'll probably want to do that inside if you do decide to do it.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right, so I'll check the door.
Okay. Give me an investigation there, 6.
Well, first off, just is it locked?
It is locked.
Okay. Yeah, I got this. I'm gonna attempt to pick it.
Okay. Give me these tools check.
22.
22. Okay. It was a remedial lock, and it's gotten much more worse for wear given the 5 to 6 years or so since this town's been abandoned. But as you work through it, you can pick through some of the rust, get the pins into place, and with the stealth checks from earlier, you take a little bit of extra time as the rust kind of drops. At least now with the music, it's a bit more drowned out, but there's definitely a little bit of grinding as you turn the lock and open it.
Oh my god. The weathering on these tumblers. Okay. Will, check it for traps. And I'll just ever so slightly creak the door cracked so Will can take a peek.
And I do.
All right. Investigation, Will.
Natural 27.
Natural 27.
That's
nice.
what I'm talking about.
Peeking through, you can clearly see that this was the storage area for the kitchens. You can see the swing door from the storage area into the kitchen itself is a little bit broken off. In the immediate vicinity, at least with this first threshold, there's no traps, no rope, no bits of thread that you can tell. But it looks clear, at least to get into the storage room.
All right. Still standing in front of the party. We'll kind of guide Will aside. So if there is something that we didn't notice just by chance, I'll take the brunt of it. But I'll swing the door open to usher everybody inside.
And it opens, no incident. So give me one last stealth check, you guys.
Oh yeah.
Will do.
Do we still have that?
Yep.
Yes. It's same at this point. It's still active. It's only been about hour and a half.
32.
Okay.
26. Sturdy.
This must not have been the first time she snuck in there, as is a natural 32.
Nice.
But
33.
Go ahead.
Oh, what were you saying, Iris? Good. Finish up.
Is this the more traveler one, or is this the one more for locals?
This is the one more set for local. It's the smaller of the two. The larger one, actually being a bit close, more north of the main road, up near the other junction. But because of the heavy traffic, they do have a couple rooms set aside for other travelers or drunkards that don't have the capacity to make it home. But as you guys make your way into the storage room, it's been picked clean. You might find a little bit of grain, maybe a rotten apple. But in the immediate vicinity of the storage room, vacant.
Iris comes in and she actually looks around. It's like, I wonder if the kobolds still have their scratches around here.
I actually take the rotten apple.
Okay.
Chances are we might need a distraction should anything go wrong.
inside. Your noggin telling you anything?
At this point, it's completely gone, Iris. But it definitely wants you here. Look into something.
Something told me to look around in here, but it's quieted down, thankfully.
All right.
I'm sorry.
It's
I
okay.
shouldn't have dragged you guys over here.
Look, you and I will look together. Liz can stay with the party. That way we both have someone that can take a hit. All right? Just in case.
Do you want invisible?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea since I can't reach you guys that far.
Alright. And she's going to reach over and touch 6 and twin cast invisibility on us.
Alright.
All right.
Alright, so you two are going to look around. BB, whose blood do you want to use for that spell?
I was gonna use Iris's. I was
Oh.
gonna give her a quick little tiny stab before as we were walking in.
Alright,
Yeah.
I will accept that.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright, go ahead and just let's see here. Let me look something up.
Hopefully this blood will go better than last time.
Oh, this is no, yeah, you don't know. But
She
This is a
she
new
doesn't
thing.
know.
Or I'm more interested in the 1, 2, 4. Yeah, all of them.
Oh no.
What does all of them entail?
Come on.
Stuff that we're not privy to, apparently.
Come on, computer, work with me here.
No.
Let's see here.
If it's not exactly pertinent to the moment, we can.
Oh, no,
Fine.
yeah. No, I'm glad you brought it up. 1 second. Let me just see here. And you're doing this to Iris, correct?
Yes. Yes.
You have to choose 2 of those 6 bullet points.
I have to choose 2.
Oh.
You can, it could be any 2.
Probably the third one.
Okay.
The third, maybe the.
All right. So the third one regarding.
Oh, no, actually. No, it'd be the fourth one. Sorry, my brain does not work well when they're all smushed together. Fourth and first.
Fourth and first. Okay.
There's so much anxiety right now.
Okay. So before Iris, you get invisible with 6. You all kind of take a moment here in the storage room. Will,
without telling anybody.
Yep. Will, you kind of keep an ear out. Being on the defensive, that in a way, through your training, in an element of foreign city adversaries all around. So you're kind of in the back of your head, just keeping your head on a swivel, peeking out the windows here and there. But BB, as you poke it and you focus, you all, Iris, you watch as Bird Buddy draws out roughly about an ounce of blood and it almost begins to shape into a ball. And you can make out runes flickering amongst the surface. BB, these are in necro. In regards to the fourth one, it it does mention an odd mix of very dark psychic energy and a gentle druidic, focusing as you're kind of doing this ritual on Iris. And while it gives some kind of value to Iris's vitality, health, she's healthy. She might be resistant as her powers become more apparent. But when it tells you the creature's type, you get the sense from the necro that Iris is an aberrant beast. Not human. Maybe it could be some kind of a classification of shifter. But she's aberrant.
Aberrant.
Aberrant, sorry.
Liz is supposed to be the one having a problem with comment, not you.
Fucker. Yeah, but she's
Brevity.
an aberrant. She's an aberrant beast. I'm gonna fuck that word up forever.
Sigil.
And yes, and there's two types of magic at play in Iris of Fire.
Hold up.
What's up, Six?
You just got raided.
Umbra, thank you for the raid.
Hooray.
Just so you're aware, when you go back and take notes, Ruby, I do have a raid come in, so brace yourself for that. But welcome
love
in,
you.
raiders. I am Shotgun Seraph, your gaming angel and survival mom tonight. We're playing D&D. We just got to, well, Iris's, who is the Fugi wearing the green cloak. Their hometown, as you can see, it's an utter and total ruin, and inhabited by thousands of goblins. So, yeah. But yeah, great to see you guys. Welcome in. Get comfy.
Okay, I see you typing there, bird buddy.
Oh, so I'm writing notes for myself. I just was
Okay.
the wrong channel.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sorry.
No problem. But as you kind of take a mental note of, Iris definitely isn't labeled as a human, and what she was described could be some kind of a shifter. And you kind of take these notes. Iris, you watch as the blood dissipates into ash and falls into the floor.
Just checking. That's what baby says. And then shoos them off.
Just checking. Jesus Christ.
Bird, you're so fucking weird.
Come on, kiddo. Let's see what we're looking for here.
Okay.
All right. So as the two of you go invisible and go to investigate, what are the rest of you guys doing?
Will is just keeping an ear out, an eye out, and if anything goes wrong, he has that rotten apple ready to throw to distract whatever adversaries come Iris and Six's way.
Okay.
When Liz was told that she'd be guarding the rest of the party, there was like an almost immediate like shift in her demeanor, and the part of her that learned how to guard and stuff with the scale guard kind of appears as she pulls out her sword, and it's almost everything about her body language changes.
Okay.
She goes from being like the pretty gentle red dragonborn that everybody's kind of gotten used to, oh, there's the scale guard.
Will doesn't mind. I mean, heck, this is technically backup for him.
Oh yeah. Ruby, Bird Buddy, what are you guys doing?
Everybody's gonna put a hand on Ruby and say, "See my eyes. Let me know." And then I'm gonna use one of the, if I can, one of the functions of the Sentinel.
Let's see here.
The just basically it's I want to see if I can see if everything's still going okay. I think it's familiar at this point.
Just keeping an eye, checking in on the
Yeah.
animals.
It's my eyes at the moment. I can see through
Okay.
its eyes.
Okay.
I'm glad I read
So,
that. Yeah,
all right.
that's really-
So I'll need some specifics. Will, where you're going to be in the main room? Like the main
Yeah.
floor, kind of peeking out the windows? Okay.
Yeah, peeking out the windows, looking through the doorway if he can see it.
Okay. So you're going to be out into the main floor of where the tables are and all that stuff, right? So you can actually keep an eye on the goblins. Okay. Ruby and Ruby and Bird Buddy. What about you guys? Are you guys gonna stay close to the storeroom or into the kitchen?
Well, Ruby, if she moves, will notice that Bird Buddy has absolutely no vision. They move, they're gonna stumble.
Okay.
Ruby essentially has. She's not moving per se, but she is trying to keep an eye out for Bird Buddy. So, like, if she sees danger coming or whatnot, she's gonna kind of, as carefully as she can, pick Birdie up and move closer to the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Just essentially keeping her safe, and then if there's a threat, she gets ready to use her hang on her arm just in case. But
All right. So you guys are staying in
low profile.
You guys are staying in the storeroom then?
Yes, but I'm also trying to move to keep everybody within range-ish. So if Will moves out, I'll move a little closer to the door, but otherwise keeping to the shadows.
Okay. So I would say if you want to keep the party in view, you'd probably be wanting the kitchen because there's a service window from the kitchen to the bar before they bring the food out to the customers. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys will be over in the kitchen. Liz, what about you?
I'm kind of
cut out.
patrolling windows.
You can.
Sorry.
So patrolling across the windows, kind of similar to Will.
Yeah, I'm following Will's lead. Kind of. Sorry, the dog is in the way.
All right. With BB's vision out of commission, this will take as you're kind of checking in, you do see that the sentinel is chilling up in the rafters. As it's looking down at the animals, you can see they've been, for the most part, undisturbed. The energy, at least, they're a bit on edge, but nothing to the point where it would raise any kind of alarm. Before you watch the sentinel kind of turn and look out in roughly your direction through a crack in the ceiling. But it's on the post. But as you're doing that, I need perceptions from Will, Liz, and Ruby, and I need investigations from Styx and Iris.
You got it, Don and Daddy.
Go ahead and put your numbers in the Discord.
Can I instead give advantage to Iris?
Sure.
Okay.
We're doing perception for my end.
Yep. Perception for Ruby, Will, and Liz. Investigation at advantage for Iris.
And then if I need to, I'll recast the +10.
At this point, it's just petering out, but let's get these values in place. 30. Liz, Ruby, you guys are putting in separate channels.
Sorry.
We are?
All good.
We usually
Oh?
use no mic for when we're.
Oh, I thought
yeah,
it was in no mic.
yeah. You
Oh,
guys have been posted in
shit.
general a little. You're good.
No.
All right, so dirty 20, dirty 22. All right. I need to. Liz, what is your strength?
+3.
+3. All right, one moment. Go and roll me a straight d20.
Excuse me?
Uh-oh.
11.
5e. No. Come on. 11 total? Okay.
You said a straight
Uh-oh.
D20.
Well, straight d20. Okay. So 11.
Oh, I'm
All
really
right.
debating on using a reroll. Oh no.
Too late. She already said the number out loud.
How am I supposed to
And
do a
then
reroll?
21 for Iris. Okay. So Will, Ruby, and Liz, in your perceptions, you see that the goblins are now in full festivity. Even with the stealth checks, you can see that there's at least one goblin just kind of chilling on the porch of this tavern that extends a little bit out for extra seating. But he's just kind of peeking through the busted up hand railing, kind of looking out over everything. He's on guard, much like the rest of you guys, but hasn't caught onto anything. Styx and Iris. Iris, you kind of take a hold of Styx's hand, and you start to use that little bit of lingering of the gnawing sensation in the back of your head. You kind of use that as a guide. And as you begin to make your way upstairs to the second floor, the two of you kind of hunker down, keeping an eye out because you're now exposed to the air. And you duck into what would be one of the old rooms. The mattress is completely picked clean. A little bit of the bed frame is left. The dressers, the one dresser, the bulk of it, the drawers and doors have been ripped off, and what looks to be the remains of it are still kind of intact, but over to the side and busted in slightly. And that's sitting just to your left as you guys make your way through. And as the two of you are invisible, you guys take a few steps forward. And then that gnawing sensation ignites. Iris, I need a wisdom save from you at disadvantage.
Oh, fuck. At disadvantage?
Sorry, I take it back. Wisdom save from the both of you.
From the both of us.
Yes.
Oh,
Apologies.
boy.
Got ahead of myself.
Oh, sugar honey iced tea.
I need to know what my strength check was about, John.
Don't worry, we'll get to that.
That's a 10.
10. Okay. 6.
Yeah,
This is going down so
I really wish it.
Dirty 20.
I really wish it was. I really wish it was advantage because the other one was a 19.
Sorry, I got ahead of myself. What
Dirty
was your
20.
6?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. As the two of you are exposed to the cold air of the late spring night, a voice enters both of your heads. Familiar to both of you. Very familiar to you, Six. But it's the presence of that voice that startled you, Iris, and you are considered frightened. Why did you have to bring them here, sister? It's Dizzy's voice. As the two of you turn around, staring directly at you where the busted down wardrobe was laying. You see roughly 8-9-year-old Dizzy, her body heavily burned, pulsing that same opalescent light. Her eyes are hollow, her ribs cracked exposed on one side, her eye bleeding. And as the rest of you hear Iris's light screech of pain, you all watch as some of the furniture begins to come to life and splits open. Liz, the rug you were standing on, is trying to grab at you as dark purplish flesh sticks your feet as you kind of backpedal. You all find yourself in a mimic nest. And that's where
Oh,
we're going to end the
shit.
session. Good session, guys.
Yeah.
Do I need to swap for next week?
Fuck.
Okay, so I want to point out how perfect that timing was, because like just as you were describing, as you know, the mimic nest was coming to life, the ambiance that I had in the background just had like the final like 4 like minor notes play out, and it was perfect.
I can't wait for the recording
Awesome.
then.
Same.
I'm
But
not a happy camper.
I'm
yeah, 'cause
sorry.
Don't be a mimic. Don't be a mimic.
That's the
It's-
first thing that popped in my
Oh
fucking
my
head
god.
too.
it is 10:43, so let's let Seraph wrap it, and then we can talk for a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
that works out. All right, guys, stick around. We are going to raid off for the evening. I do like it when my community here is able to just spare another 5 minutes for the person that we're going to raid off to. Who knows? You might end up liking them. Give them a follow if you do. If you don't, give them a follow anyway. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't cost you anything. Why not, right? But in the meantime, I will see you guys next time, and I hope you guys have a great night. Good night, everybody.
Bye,
Good night,
everybody.
everyone.
Love you. Thanks for
Later.
joining.
Bye.
Bye, chat. Take care.
Oh.
Session
I
20
love
is
that.
better.
Whether locked away in cage or mind, together we face this incessant bind, challenging a past we can't erase, replacing it with hope for a better place. Another day, another dawn, another